So good evening, everyone. I welcome you all for the good evening, everyone. I welcome you all for the Education Revolution Summit Tours 2030, being organized by the Elegant Education Empire. And today we are here with the theme Gadget Addiction and Related Social Problems in the 21st Century. I would like to welcome the founder of Elegant Education Empire, Ambassador Professor Dr. Esther Mala, all our speakers, guest speakers, and observers who are joining us from different parts of the world. Before starting with the session, I would just like to speak in short about Elegant Education Empire. Elegant Education Empire has embraced this theme in keeping their stated vision of creating a thriving online platform that serves as a global hub for education, fostering a community of lifelong learners. It aspires to empower individuals from all walks of life with accessible, high-quality educational content that ignites curiosity, enriches knowledge, and nurtures personal and professional growth. And today, the theme that we have taken, yes, because owning gadgets nowadays, it's not more a luxury. It has become an integral part of life. But though it must be having a number of advantages, but it is having a lot of disadvantages also. So now let's begin our session. And for this, for beginning with the session, I request our founder, Professor Ambassador Dr. Esther Mala, to please to please play the first video of the Education Revolution Summit.
Thank you, Dr. Anju. Oh, I need to share first. Okay, you may proceed. The video
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, it's over actually. It's over.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for this wonderful video. And yes, of course, because before starting with the function, it's my pleasure to introduce to you all Professor Dr. Ambassador Esther Mala to deliver before delivering her opening address. Dr. Mala is the project director, founder, and CEO at Elegant Empire Education. She is also the country ambassador of the Commonwealth Iconic Federation, a soft skill trainer, international speaker, and parenting child and youth development coach. So let's give a warm welcome to the driving force behind the Education Revolution Summit towards 2030, Dr. Esther Mala. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Anjum. Welcome, dear all. We have wonderful topic today. Welcome and happy weekend, dear delegates, distinguished speakers, guests of honor, Madam Catherine Kutsisvili from Georgia, esteemed guest observers, ladies and gentlemen, and fellow participants. Thank you for joining us at this important summit today. Our aim here is to shed light on a subject that affects each and every one of us in this digital age, gadget addiction, and it's related to social problems. In the span of just a few short decades, technology has transformed the way we live, work, and interact. Our gadgets, be it smartphones, tablets, or laptops, have become an integral part of our daily lives. They've brought unparalleled convenience, connectivity, and information at our fingertips. Yet, the very same device have improved our lives are now posing significant challenges that we cannot afford to ignore. According to the survey done in US year 2022, 48% are considered addicted to digital device. The negative impact includes decreasing cognitive skills like attentional and memory issues, academic skills, increased aggression, perpetual problems, and antisocial behavioral pattern. Teens and parents, smartphone addiction and cell phone usage statistics briefly. About 47% parents surveyed believe their children has a smartphone addiction. Of the teachers surveyed, 67% noticed their students being negatively distracted by mobile devices. And 89% of parents take responsibility for their children's cell phone usage. 36% of millennials say that they spend 2 or more hours per work day looking at their phones for social media, texting friends, playing games, and interacting with text message marketing programs, which I think is pretty low, but I don't think it's 2 or 3 hours. It's really can be 8 hours, 10 hours sometime. Yeah, in between there's a break, of course. Gadget addiction or the excessive use of digital devices has become a pervasive problem affecting individuals of all age. This addiction leads to various problems, social problems impacting our mental and emotional well-being, relationship, and even our productivity. It's crucial that we come together to address these issues and seek solution that promotes a healthier, more balanced relationship with technology. Yeah, we cannot distance from it, but we can minimize the time spent. Okay, and we have to create an interval, a healthy time spent to rest before we continue. The effect of gadget addiction are multifaceted. It leads to decreased face-to-face social interactions, hindering our ability to communicate effectively and empathetically. It can cause sleep disturbance, anxiety, and depression. Furthermore, it may contribute to issues like cyberbullying, digital privacy concerns, and the erosions of personal boundaries. As we gather here today, we are united by a common goal to explore and find solutions to these problems. We aim to promote responsible gadget use, protect our mental and emotional well being, and ensure that our technology serves as a tool for personal growth and societal benefits rather than an impediment to them. During our time together, we will engage in thoughtful discussion, sharing, and hear from experts in the field and share insights on how we can collectively address this challenge. It is our responsibility to foster digital literacy, encourage digital detox, and establish a supportive and understanding environment for those struggling with gadget addiction. In conclusion, dear all, our world is undeniably shaped by technology and we cannot reverse these trends. However, we can shape the way we interact with it. Let this summit be the starting point for a more balanced, mindful, and responsible relationship with our gadgets, ensuring that they enhance our life rather than hinder them. I look forward to this inspiring discussion and innovative ideas from you all, dear speakers, and that we will emerge during this um, summit. Together, we can pave the way for a better, brighter, more connected, and healthier future in the digital age. Thank you for your attention, and I appreciate this opening of this informative summit, dear all. Welcome.
Thank you, Professor Esther. It was really a great thing that, as said by you, yes, of course, Gadget has become an integral part of life. It depends upon how we will be using it. And it's the time that we all come together and discuss over this and help the younger generation, especially the younger generation, to come out of the digital addiction. And yes, of course, that is the theme that we have kept today, gadget addiction and related social problems in the 21st century. So there are some rules that we have framed for the today's summit. I will just read down the rules, and after that we'll go ahead. So there are some rules for the speakers. Please mute your mic unless it is your turn to speak. Switch on your camera to support each other. Well, you can switch off your camera when necessary, like when eating or when you have to leave your seat. Every speaker has 10 minutes to present their speech. Please adhere to the time parameters. When your 10 minutes have passed, you will get a warning sign, and please wrap up your comments after that. Kindly fill up the link for your certificate before you leave. We will send it to your WhatsApp. And of course, there is a dress code. Yes, you have to be dressed smartly and no t-shirts are allowed. There are a few rules for the guests and the observers also. Please keep your video switched on at all the times unless you are leaving your seat or eating. Please mute your mic unless it's your turn to speak. Feedback duration is 30 seconds to 1 minute. And please wrap up your comments in this time. And kindly fill up the link for your certificate before you leave. So before we start with our session today, it's time for another video by Elegant Education Empire, and I request Dr. Esther Mala to please play the video. Thank you. Thank you for this wonderful video. It was a wonderful video actually indicating all our speakers, guests, and observers and guest observers for today. I once again welcome you all for this wonderful summit. And I know it is going to be very interesting. So it's a great day for us because today we'll be starting and we'll be discussing so much on this special day. Let me just share my screen. Our guest, uh, our guest of honor for today, it's my privilege to welcome her and introduce her. Our guest of honor is Honorable Madam Adhikarin Kushilvi from Georgia. She is an educational and school director. So I welcome you, ma'am, and it's a proud privilege to welcome you here. And I would like to listen from you. In fact, not just me, everyone would like to listen to you. So over to you, Madam Catherine.
Yeah, Eka is here.
Yeah, is she
Good
Yes,
evening,
she's here.
everyone.
she was here just now. Can you please on your video?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, we are
yes.
waiting for
I'm at
you.
work, and I had a problem with video,
Okay, okay.
and
Yeah, man, take your time. We'll wait for you.
You know, so it's Eka's birthday, and even now she's at school, and that's why there is
Oh,
a problem
yeah.
about the video camera. Yeah,
Yes.
but thank you, Eka, for joining us.
Yeah.
thank you all. It's a really big pleasure for me to be the participant of today's summit. And I want to speak about gadgets. And before I start talking about disadvantages and gadgets addiction, I will make gadgets make our lives easier and
Can you hear? I cannot hear anymore.
Yeah, I think connection issue. Huh?
Yeah. We can be.
Yeah, just wait and see.
Yeah,
I think
just wait.
she might be logging in again.
Yeah.
Just few minutes. She's an important person today.
Yeah, of
Have to
course.
give her a chance.
You have to wait for her.
And on top of everything, she's the birthday girl today.
Yeah,
She's
it's her
coming in.
birthday.
Yeah. We want to
Yeah,
give
and
a
that's
surprise
why
after this. Yes.
she's so busy today. Yeah, I think she's here.
Yeah, she's here. She's here.
uh, excuse me, I'm really sorry. I just can't stop receiving birthday wishes. So
Okay, I understand. We understand. Okay, you may
and
proceed.
I'm going to continue my speech.
Yes.
I was talking about the gadgets that they have advantage that they help us communicate, for example, learn, work, and entertain. I just can't realize my life without gadgets because they are helpful in one way, but of course they have some negative effects on person, especially if they are used inappropriately. First, gadget addiction can have physical effects on a person. They can require us to stare at a screen for long periods of time, which can cause headaches and dry eyes. They can also make us sit or lie down in unhealthy postures, which can lead to neck and back pain. Moreover, I think gadgets can be harmful for our sleep quality, and lack of sleep can result in reduced immunity. What's more, gadget addictions can have mental effects on a person. They can reduce our attention, for example, memory and concentration. They can also affect our mood and emotions as they lead to stress, anxiety, and depression. For example, some people may feel pressured to keep up with the latest trends and new on social media. What's more, gadget addiction can have social effects on a person. They can isolate us from our real life relationships as we spend more time in the virtual world than in the real one. And they can also reduce our social skills. Thanks for your time and for your attention.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am Catherine. Okay, now, Dr. Natalia, you may proceed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I share the screen?
Yes, please. You are the co-host.
Okay.
It's just too bad we can't see Madam Catherine's image.
Yeah, but we will see.
Yeah.
See.
Okay.
Oh, okay. This is our surprise for our Ekaterine. Okay.
No voice, dear.
Thank you so much.
Dear, just
You should
click
be-
on the share sound at the top right corner of the video. There's
Yeah, I know, but
Happy birthday to
is there a voice?
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
let's clap. Happy birthday, ma'am. Happy
Happy
birthday.
Happy
birthday, ma'am.
Thank you
birthday.
very much. Thank
Such
you
a
very
privilege to
kindly.
have you here as our guest of honor at the same time to celebrate your birthday. What a memorable
Yes.
day. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thank you, Dr. Natalia, for this wonderful
You.
video. In spite of her so busy schedule, I know she's so busy. I just told her just now and she quickly get it done. Wonderful. She's always my strength. One of my
Thank you.
strengths.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's proceed, Dr. Anju.
Yeah, thank you. Thank
Back to
you, Dr. Natalia, for this wonderful video. And once again, wish you a very happy birthday to our guest of honor today, Katrina. And yes, now it's time to listen from our guest speakers who have joined from different parts of the globe. So before starting with the session, I would just like to read down the rules once more, though I have already told about it, but yes, let me just read down this, of course. The time limit is 10 minutes for each speaker, and all the speakers, please switch on your camera throughout the session which is going on. You can switch off your camera only when you need to leave your seat or you have to do any other task like eating or drinking water and all, and please maintain the time limits. So here, let's start from our first speaker today, and our first speaker will be, just a minute, let me share my screen. Our first speaker for today's summit will be Mr. Pawan Gupta. He's an educational trainer, master of psychology, and NLP practitioner. And his topic is health consequences, physical and mental health implication of excessive gadget usage. And the observer for Mr. Pawan Gupta, sir, will be Mrs. Sunil Kumar Judge, ma'am. So over to you, Pawan, sir.
Greetings all. Especially, I would like to thank Astra for calling me here. And when I came to know about the topic of the summit, it was really, so important, not in the terms of any particular reason or area. Am I audible? Thank you. Thank you. It is now, you can say, a world problem, or we can say a problem related to universe. And I will start with the journey from blessings to curse. As our guest of honor, Catherine, said that when this whole thing, came into being, there was total transformation. We never thought of connecting. We wouldn't have imagined, connecting so many countries 30 years back on a platform like Zoom today we are having. It was blessing. How effectively this has improved our communication, research and development. So all these were the blessings of the gadgets, the new electronic gadgets, and the e-commerce business have improved a lot because of it. But how that blessings have transformed into curse, that is why we are here, and we are trying to discuss the issues, the consequences, the effects which are related to this gadget addiction. And more importantly, who is responsible for that? This topic is so important that we can talk for hours on this, but my dear friend Astra told everyone that 10 minutes are the maximum limit you can speak. So let me touch how the younger generation has been affected by it, and who is responsible for that. We being a parents are very much responsible for the gadget addiction, because we are the idols for our younger generations. And what we are doing every time we are using these gadgets uncontrolled way, in an uncontrolled way, and we are expecting our kids to get away from that. It cannot be done unless and until we set an example. Despite of the fact that it has got very bad effects, not only on our physical health, but mental health too. Everyone will be speaking related to depression, anxiety. These are the basic things which are related to mental illness. But my friends, this gadget addiction is downgrading the hard work of the students. They are visionless. They are focusless. And more importantly, they are forced unintentionally to the world of crime, world of porn, world of all the rubbish things which are around. And they unintentionally are just got crubbed in the hands of all these things. And now if we talk about the results, they are basically forgetting the essence of relationship, whether it is between parents and child, it is between student and teacher, it is between friends, it is between relative. Everything is going workside because they think the most important thing in the world is the relationship on the social media. They may have thousands, and you may have, and why we talk about children, talk about ourselves. If I'll ask Sonal how many friends you have got on Facebook and social media, she'll say 20,000, sir. But if I'll ask her, do you have 20 friends to whom you can call 24/7, whether they'll be there to help you out? Without asking her, without taking her consent, I can say no. She'll definitely say no. So this is the world of virtual reality. And I'll tell you, if these type of conference are not held, regularly by, leaders like Astra, we'll have a time when we don't have any mechanism to control. You may, talk about some data related to 30% or 40%, actually 90 to 95% person, including from just starting from your 3 years to 80 years or maybe 80 years above, they all are addicted. We all are addicted. Now, how to curb it? We can start with our own exercise. We can give, we can frame certain rules and regulations within the family that there should be a time period which can be called no gadget zone. And this can only happen when all the members of the family agree to it. If you want to ask your child not to use phone for 2 hours, but in that 2 hours, you yourself are into the phone and we are talking on, teleconferencing and doing all the blah related to this electronic media, my friends, we will not be able to transform them. If at all we want to change the world, if at all we want to change the scenario, you have to take certain stringent, steps. No gadget period. Or we can say we can tell them second, substitute for the gadgets. There should be at least half an hour to 1 hour reading period at home. In that particular period, they will be just reading books. My friends, we have forgotten the feel, touch, and emotion related to books. And we are into, very drastic relationship issues in today's world only because of this gadget addiction. We have stopped writing letters. I don't want to, force any traditional things to you, but can we do something trying to relate and trying to maintain certain relationships? If our kids want something, maybe a glass of water, they will not even yell. They will call their mother who's sitting in the bedroom around, you can say 15 meters far away and say, Mama, I want a glass of water. So what type of world we are thinking about? We are not at all against the gadgets. We want that to be used for development, for research, for education, for transformation, for progress, for success. But when the word addiction comes, and I'll tell you, my friends, nowadays it is more dangerous than the drug addiction. Because undisguising, even a child of 3 years, she is using the gadget. Radiation they are feeds, adhering to, coming in contact with, and totally devastation is there. And it is leading to what? It is leading to your performance. You are not able to perform because you are thinking, if you are sitting next to a screen, that will teach you much better than the actual person, like a teacher in school. So this is the devastation. The relationship of feelings, the relationship of togetherness, the relationship of one-to-one interaction. And even a person who's into depression, she also try to find out the way on the web instead of asking their elders.
Excuse me, sir. Please
So I'll
continue.
conclude my speech by saying this: says, until and unless we, being the member of the society, responsible member of the society, start ourselves, start this step from our own family, we cannot transform the world. Thank you very much. I think there's scarcity of time, and I can talk on this topic for hours, being a psychologist and NLP expert. But thank you very much, Estra. It was really wonderful to have audience like of this nature.
Thank you, sir. What a remarkable sharing. Yeah, you made us all go back and think, oh, yeah, what shall I do? Okay, now this is what the advice and sharing from Mr. Pawan. Thank you. You have started very well this summit. Now I would like to call upon your honorable observer. She's evaluating your speech positively. Welcome, Mrs. Sonalji. You're muted, dear.
Good evening. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. And thank you to Esther ma'am for inviting me as an observer for the speakers and uh, sharing the wonderful topic that we need today. It's the need of the heart today. And to all the honorable members over here, and happy birthday to Catherine ma'am from everyone. So, considering the speech is spoken by Pawan sir, he has actually spoken the accurate practical approach that is needed and that was missing. So we need to blend the old teaching method, the olden values, merging with the modern generation, which is skipped by the principals and the educators of today, which is overlooked. So, sir, you have spoken exactly what is absent now in the teaching standards. When we talk about the NEP 20, all the strategies and everything, we are actually concentrating more on the academic part, like critical thinking and all these kind of things. But digital technology, as you really spoke, there may be 10,000 friends on Facebook. But when you really need them, no one will be there for you. There will be hardly 4 or 5. So I think it is better to have 4 or 5 genuine connections who are going to stand by you rather than this concentrating on the more than 10,000. And that is what we need to teach the children of today by blending these things in the academic in all the subjects. That is we call as a community living or creating cultural connections with each and every sector. Now we all are connected globally. So this is what we call as cultural education, as Pawan sir has spoken. And I think he is the most experienced principal, taking into consideration the day-to-day experiences of the educators and all the principals having conferences. So hats off to you, sir, for voicing out this issue and raising awareness about how digital social media currency can be used in a very productive way, which is not used by the people. So it is all about practicing the pause. Mindfulness, as you call, is more needed now, whether you are an academician or a corporate or anyone. So this is from my side to all everyone, and definitely with this conference a change will happen. And over to you, Esther ma'am and Rania. Anjum.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very
Wow,
much.
wow, wonderful comments. Just to interrupt a bit, many of my guests and speakers, when I invite them, they ask me, what is observer? They think being an observer is something very small, because you talk for a short while. No, being an observer is really honored because you evaluate the speech of keynote speakers. So you must be in par or above, a step above to give that comment. So please understand this part of it and join us always to serve as observers.
Your ma'am, I would like to share. I would like to share that this is what we called as healthy collaboration. We all are here for a healthy learning journey. So it's a learning for all of us.
Yes.
Thank
yes.
you.
That is the reason I instituted this speakers and observers. You see, giving everybody a chance. And when we meet here on platform, whether you
Thank
speak for 10 minutes or you speak for 1 minute, we are getting connected. Yeah, that's the most important thing. Okay, please, Dr. Anjum, please proceed with the next speaker, please.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Pawan sir and Sonal ma'am for starting this wonderful summit. And now it's time to introduce our next speaker for today's summit, Dr. Lilibet Gregorio. She's the educational and international speaker. And her topic is parenting challenges, navigating gadget addiction in children and adolescents, and setting boundaries and rules for screen time, promoting healthy tech habits in the family. So over to you, Dr. Lilibet, ma'am. And the observer for Dr. Lilibet will be Professor Dr. Rania Lampova. Over to you, ma'am.
Welcome, welcome, welcome,
Yes.
Dr. Lilibet.
Okay. Yes. To everyone, all educators, my fellow school administrators, principals, and of course, all my colleagues here. And of course, our ambassador, Professor Dr. Esther Mala, for the Elegant Empire Education, and for inviting all of us for the Education Revolution Summit towards 2030. And our theme with the gadget addiction related social problems in 21st century. My topic for tonight is parenting challenges, navigating gadget addiction in children and adolescents. And we have the setting boundaries and rules for the screen time, and of course, promoting healthy tech habits in the family. As educators, as teachers, as well as parents in our own family, we build a very household of faith in our respective home. So people are becoming more dependent on technology than ever before. Today's children, our adults are heavily plugged into electronics, which raises concerns for their physical as well as cognitive development. And with this, how can we prevent gadget addiction in children? So we have to refrain from putting TV and electronic gadgets in your child's bedroom. And of course, put away such devices after use. Observe tech-free and times such as during meals, homework, and bedtime. In addition, you can designate a tech-free zone in your respective home for your child, such as the bedroom, dining area, or either in the car. How to prevent tech addiction in your children? The parents and caregivers as well need to be prepared to be unpopular and provide their clear boundaries for their children. Some measures that can be taken include the following. Here are the following tips that we have to undertake. Limit the use of TV, the computers, and mobile devices to a maximum of 30 minutes, as well as ensure the total amount of screen time per day and doesn't exceed the age group recommendations. We have to schedule an appropriate time for using the device and plan fun physical activities for your children to engage in at other times. You can engage also the locomotor and non-locomotor skills of your children as well. Refrain from putting TV and electronic gadgets in your child's bedroom and put away such devices after use. Observe tech-free time such as during meal, the homework, and bedtime. In addition, you can designate a tech-free zone for your child, such as the bedroom. Teach your child early about the importance of moderation. Be sure to offer praise when your child demonstrates, restraint in the use of tech devices, follows the rules you've set. And of course, you have to monitor access by using the device together and with your child, and you have to take this opportunity to communicate, interact, and of course, you have to share family, the values, the culture, and traditions within the family itself. And we have to set reasonable limits, of course. So what are these limits? We have to start with compassion. Unstructured screen time is an important source of comfort and entertainment for many kids. Offer additional screen time as a bonus. The brainstorm alternatives, as well as keep a schedule, as well as model healthy screen use. And of course, we have to emphasize connections. And what are these set reasonable limits to our children? After working through developmental checklist, you may decide that you do not to set some new limits in your kids. So this screen time, you have to get serious about limits that have fallen by the wayside. So you have to follow the rules. Don't need to be rigid or extreme to be helpful. All right. So another one is start with compassion. Unstructured screen time is an important source of comfort and entertainment. Another one is offer additional screen time as a bonus. Of course, if your children have a great performance in class, you have to give them bonus as well as give them gadgets as well as their prize for their very outstanding performance as well. All right. Another one, brainstorm alternatives. Okay, we can be given them another kind of positivity. All right. Another one is keep schedule. All right. If either you have to keep schedule of your children, they have their alternatives with their respective gadget zone. Another one is model healthy screen use. Yes, we have to emphasize the point of setting aside your own screen during set times. And about emphasize connections, we have to be very positive with the different friends and connections of learners, such as their respective companions. So we have to now focus on the A. What are the rules for screen time? So we have to be very specific. Between 18 to 24 months, screen time should be limited to watching educational programming with a caregiver or with your parents, with the parents. So for children 2 to 5 years old, we have to limit non-educational screen time to about 1 hour. Or we have another 3 hours on the weekend days. And for ages 6 and older, we have to encourage healthy hobbies and limit activities that include screen. All right, so what are some safety tips for screen time? We can have also internet safety for kids. We have to use the 5 screen time tips. Set limit on children's screen time. Actively engage with your child's online experiences. Use technology as a tool for creation. All right. Another one. What are the guidelines for screen time for children? These guidelines generally have a binding and recommendation. No screen time at all for children under 2 years old. no more than 1 hour a day for preschoolers, no more or than 2 hours a day for school-age children or also adolescents. And why it is important to regulate screen time. All right, so reducing screen time can have profound impact in our overall the health and well-being of our children. All right, so from improved sleep quality and reduced eye strain to better posture, lower risk, and of course, obesity and enhancement mental health. And of course, you have to be beneficial on the numerous. All right. And for instance, how to develop a family media use plan. Okay, so we have to establishing the limits, including which types of media may be used and when, keeping devices out of bedrooms and not using media within your hour of bedtime, that allowing the use of entertainment media while doing homework. That is the best strategies. And of course, making sure that all their caregivers, of course, the parents, such as the babysitters, have the grandparents, can also to follow the platform plan of our activities. All right. And now we have come to how do we create healthy family habits? Okay, my last part of my topic. Let us now have a help kids form healthy habits, be a role model, eat healthy family meals together with your family. You have to set aside with your in the table, and together you have to eat your meals together with your children. So make a healthy choices easy. Put nutritious food where it's easy to see. Focus on fun, play the park, and of course, we have to walk through the zoo or either on the natures. Yes, we have to emphasize the limit screen time. Check with the caregivers or on school time. Change a little of a time of your schedule of your learners. So importance of healthy family habits and practices. So a healthy, active lifestyle can help you maintain weight and prevent health issues such as diabetes, the heart diseases, asthma, and high blood pressure. Okay, so how do we promote healthy habits? So build a healthy habit, so we have to be planned. Identify unhealthy patterns and the triggers that can be most probably disturb your with your health. Change your surroundings, find ways to make healthier choices ask for support, and of course fill your time with healthy activities. Track your progress, imagine the future and reward yourself. And of course, the last, we have to be patient. So to be more appreciative, we have to include, support, the love, caring for other family members, providing security and sense of belonging, open communication, as well as making its person with the family feel important and value respect and esteem. So that's all my topic. This is Dr. Lilibet P. Gregorio from the Philippines. And thank you so much for this opportunity. Mabuhay. Go back to you.
Mabuhay. Excellent sharing, Dr. Lilibet. Thank you for being with us today. Now I would like to invite the Queen of Greece, Professor Dr. Rania Lampu, to give your feedback. Welcome. You are muted, dear.
Yes.
Okay. First, I would like to congratulate Dr. Lilibet for her very insightful presentation because, you know, she highlighted the crucial role that parents have in detoxification of digital addiction of children. Because, yes, we as educators, as teachers, We are responsible for this, but I think the role of parents is sacred. And for me, at least, family is above all, and everything starts from parents. And many times, that addiction gets out of control because parents show lack of responsibility. So Dr. Lilibeth actually gives us very important tips, very important suggestions about how it is important, first of all, to acknowledge the problem, to realize when it's time to take action, to set realistic goals, create a schedule so that parents could start help children practice what we call self-discipline, to set ground rules and of course be strict to these rules, stick to the rules, monitor gadget use and very important, how to encourage children in social interaction, how to encourage them towards more healthy physical interaction, more healthy choices. She suggested that it's important to create gadget-free zones, disconnect, to unplug, to provide alternative activities such as outdoor activities, everything that is beneficial to our health. Reduce, of course, screen time, and she talked about the keywords. It was the word compassion, patience, and respect for our childhood. Of course, it's important in this way to praise our child's effort when our child makes the effort to prioritize other activities over screen time. It's important to praise this. Encourage all healthy activities, of course, schedule an appropriate time for using the device, plan fun activities with the child, spend more time with our children if we are parents, and the most important, lead by example. If our children see us playing all the time with a mobile, the child will imitate us. So we should lead by example. We should be, first of all, those who will show the pathways. So many congratulations to Dr. Lilibeth, and I think that the role of parents is very important, and we need to highlight it.
Thank you for the lovely comments, Dr. Rania Lampu. Yeah, back to you, Dr. Anjum.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Elizabeth, and thank you, Dr. Rani Rampo. Yes, of course, as you said, parents have a great role to play when we are talking about the digital addiction over here. So now let's move on to the next speaker for our summit. And the next speaker is Dr. Parul Sharda. She is the Associate Professor at Medicaps University, Indore, and she is a researcher and a speaker. So please welcome our next speaker, Dr. Parul Sharda. She will be speaking on the topic causes and risk factors, identifying the factors contributing to gadget addiction, social, psychological, and environmental influences. And her observer will be Koshiyama Hafiz Marika. So over to you, ma'am.
Welcome, Dr. Sharul. Sharda.
Namaste from India. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
And my screen is visible to everyone?
Visible? Yes. Awesome.
Yeah, okay. Let me make it to slideshow mode. Okay, yes. Please confirm if the slides are moving. Okay. So, as the topic says that what is technology addiction and how does it is affecting the lives of people, and I have specifically covered the topic in relation to the teenagers. So let us first understand what is technology addiction. So it can be defined as a frequent and obsessive technology related behavior, like whenever we are posting any content at the social media, and we keep on checking that how many likes or how many reactions have come up. So this can be related to the behavior of obsessive technology related addiction. So an over in dependence on tech can significantly impact the student lives. Basically, I have concentrated on students who are of the age who are going through the teenage lives. So while we need technology to survive in a modern social world, a severe over reliance on technology or an addiction to certain facets of its use can also be socially devastating. What are the symptoms of technology addiction? Addiction to screens can be characterized in many, can be reflected by many symptoms. The most well-known form of addiction to screen is the video games, and more particularly to those played online by others, which is which is a famous abbreviation, that is MMORPG, or massively multiplayer online role-playing games. So addiction to screens can be characterized by various symptoms like inability to control time spent on screens. We promise ourselves that we will be spending only 1 hour or 10 minutes, say for example, or 2 hours in a day, but we are unable to control ourselves. So it is a first symptom. We can say that it is a symptom of addiction. Second is attitude of denial when faced with question of time spent on screens. So being a parent, when I ask to my kids that you have spent more time on screen, they deny on my face that no, we have spent the time we have promised only. The third one is feeling of emptiness or boredom when the subject cannot. Subject here means the teenager cannot access its digital devices. That means whenever I ask my kids, or whenever we ask the teenagers that you need to spare the time out of the digital consumption. You should not consume the screens or gadgets for a longer period of time. Then they ask us, being a teacher or being a parent, they ask to me, what should we do in spare time? What should we do in free time then? The next symptom is aggressiveness of the subject if unable to access screen or the internet. Lack of interest in other activities. Nowadays, we see that the teenagers are not having so much of hobbies as in comparison to the teenagers of past 2 decades, right? A disinterest for relationship and responsibilities. Nowadays, we see that teenagers do not want to involve in social gatherings and relative gatherings. This is because they are having full concentration on the gadgets. They want to, they feel satisfied in their virtual life more, right? So what makes a teenager or a person addictive? So technology fulfills our natural human need for stimulation, interaction, and changes in environment with greater efficiency. Sitting at one place, consuming the junk food, and not moving from one place, and experiencing all the pleasures they want to on a single screen. So that is what makes teenagers addictive to this particular gadgets. So when teenagers experience stress, be it romantic rejection or a poor grade on exam, technology can become a quick and easy way to fill basic needs, and as such can become addictive. Technology impacts the pleasure system of brain in ways similar to chemical substances. Here, chemical substances can be anything which is subsiding the negative impact of whatever stress or anxiety they are going through. So it can be the medicines also. It can be the sometimes the alcohol, the cigarettes, the tobacco, and sometimes it can be the drugs also. So it provides some of the same reward that alcohol and other drugs might. It can be boredom buster, a social lubricant, or an escape from reality. So video and computer games, smartphones and tablets, social media and internet provide a variety of access points that can promote dependence on technology and negative consequences on the youth. So there are various methods by which a teenager can be addictive to the gadgets. First is internet. Nowadays, when I teach in my class about the basic needs in Maslow's hierarchy theory, so students come up with a new point. Normally, the basic needs covers food, clothing, and shelter. And nowadays, the students have a new perspective that, madam, internet is one of the things that we also need as a basic need. So with this particular point, we can see that how internet has played an important role in their lives. So now web can be addictive as a multifunctional tool that brings us exceptionally close to an enormous amount of information at the fastest speed. One of the major reason why students or the teenagers want to be connected to the internet is because of this FOMO, that is fear of missing out. They feel that if we do not be active on the internet, or we will not be active on social media handles, maybe we will be missing something very important, and our friends or the our competitors will go far ahead than us. So this is one of the reason. Second is computer games. So challenging video games allow the players or the teenagers to feel that they are good at least they are good at something. So maybe they are getting rejection in their lives, and they feel that they are getting pleasure, or they are being appreciated at these virtual platforms. So games offer a great variety of choice to players, promoting a sense of autonomy for teens who might feel otherwise out of control. So same goes that drive people to pursue success in real world are often present in video games. So this is computer games again is a virtual universe or virtual space where they feel that they are being appreciated by the people who are also the a part of virtual world only. Next is smartphones, tablets, and lifestyle technologies. So these highly mobile, flexible machines have the power to constantly connect to the virtual world people. So these gadgets and nowadays when we ask the teenagers that what they want as a birthday gift, they only ask for the gadgets only. Nowadays, Apple watch is becoming a status symbol. So these are the things that we need to these are the symptoms that must be taken care by the teachers, that must be taken care by the parents. So and they must the parents and the teachers must educate the teenagers that limited use of each technology is healthy, but overuse of this technology can ruin their life, and it can ruin their career as a whole. Social media again is playing a vital role in everybody's life, because if we talk about the technology addiction, we are also here connected with the help of technology only at Zoom platform, and people from the different countries are talking, but we are using it for a healthy conversation. We are using this technology for a better change in the society. So similarly, every coin has two sides. Social media or all the gadget usage can also have the both the sides. It depends on us that how we educate the teenagers, how we can make a contribution in their lives so that they can come on the track where they have been distracted in their lives. At least we can make our efforts, at least we can make a ripple effect, and we keep on educating them, not nagging them. We keep on educating them that it a limited use is required, and if you want to get connected with your friends, go and meet out in a cafe, not at the social media, because not all friends who are at the social media are your real friends, right? Teenagers at risk. Technology can give students a false
Sorry
sense
to
of
interrupt you,
relational
ma'am.
security.
Sorry
Yes.
to interrupt you. Please conclude, ma'am.
Okay, sure. So when we see on the causes of technology addiction to screens generally develops when the person suffering seeks to drive its attention from discomfort, boredom, sleepiness. One reason which I find out is lack of parenting, and the trend of nuclear families is one of the reason, and addiction to video games. And when the teenagers feel that they are in isolation, they go and take the help of gadgets to relieve from their boredom and to relieve from their stress and anxiety. So technology addiction, the key figures and data, only video gamers when we talk about are the big players, and they are consuming 14 hours of their time each week. And according to current studies, 8.5% of video game players are aged between 8 to 18 years would be considered addicted. Addictologists who receive this type of audience claim that patients are generally between 15 and 35 years old on an average. So by consulting to the psychotherapy or psychiatrist, we can guide to so that they can help these teenagers or the people who are suffering from this addiction to come out from this particular thing. So these are the references I have used to gather this data. Thank you so much from my end.
Thank you so much, Dr. Parul, for this insightful presentation. We love to hear from you more. Yeah, because I know you have a lot to share with us. So I'm so sorry to restrict the time.
It's okay.
Yeah, let's hear the feedback from our Coach Yama. Welcome, Coach Yama.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Professor Dr. Isramala, for having me tonight for this excellent summit. I'm glad to be part of it. I hope you can hear me right.
Yeah, Dr. Parul, please stop sharing, please. Thank you.
First of all, congratulations, Dr. Parul, for that beautiful presentation. You have given a very clear picture of what is going on with today's teenagers. What is the reason? What is starting from what is technology, or what is tech addiction, to why it happens and what is the solution for that. All in detail, you very beautifully presented. Thank you very much for that. I really admire it. And I liked it when you say that why teenagers are so addicted. Because first thing is the boredom would be, or the lack of parenting. So here we have to be alert that it's not always they are going for pleasure, right? Or some these things. It's all, there's a reason behind every action. So they might be bored. So we have to first analyze it. What is going on with them? And she beautifully mentioned that some people have that how to identify the symptoms, right? These people, students or the children, they have that status maintaining, like Apple Watch. Having Apple Watch is kind of symbol of having a good status. So this kind of mentality should be really observed, and we should educate them to create awareness, like these things should be omitted from their life, right? Because if when it comes to one or two children, it's okay. When it comes to a society, it should not be a fashion or a trend, so that parents or the society will suffer. And she said very beautifully that there are good things we can use. There's a limit, healthy limits of screen time. So we have to educate them, do not neg them. That is a beautiful point, I feel. And very ironically, you mentioned that basic needs, when you asked about your students, they mentioned internet is also a part of the basic need. So we can realize how important it has become, how integral part of our life it has become. It is okay. It is okay to have. Even we cannot live without technology today's life, but we should know where is the limit, where we should limit, right? So everything you very meticulously pointed out, I like them all. And a beautiful presentation. All the very best, Dr. Parul Sharda. Thank you very much. Over to you, Professor Esra.
Dr. Anjum, thank you, Coach Yama. Back to Dr. Anjum. Otherwise, we don't have time.
Thank you, Dr. Parul Sharda and Coach Yama for this wonderful presentation, and also giving the observation for this, giving your feedback on this. And there is an important announcement for all the speakers. Please switch on your camera throughout the session, so that just to support each other. And secondly, a very important thing, all the speakers, please note that the time limit to the speakers is 10 minutes, and the time limit for the observers is 30 seconds to 1 minute. So please maintain the time constraints, because we have many speakers and we have to finish on time. So now let's move on to the next speakers of the summit. So let's welcome Professor Dr. Ida Gaurav. She's an English lecturer and keynote speaker. Her topic is Impact on Relationships, Effect of Gadget Addiction on Family Dynamics, how it affects friendships and romantic relationships, and strategies for maintaining healthy relationships in the digital age. And her observer will be Dr. Kunjan Shukla. So over to you, ma'am.
Good evening, greetings here from the Philippines. Permission to share my screen. Permission to share my screen.
Yes, you may share now, Dr. Trudy,
Thank you, thank you.
the co-host.
Again, good evening, everyone. It's evening here in the Philippines, particularly here in Davao City. So I'll be discussing about the effects of gadget addiction on family dynamics. My discussion will revolve around pieces of evidence that would show that there is indeed an effect or series of effects of gadget addiction on family dynamics that include certain issues, concerns caused by gadget addiction. Also, I'll be discussing about the effects on friendship and romantic relationship. And lastly, I'll be presenting strategies for maintaining healthy relationships in the digital age. Studies showed that the existence of the problem, particularly gadget addiction, could be based on the following factors, such as negative mother-child relationship, children's digital play usage, and mother's digital device usage. For researchers, it revealed that there are some family issues. These are all actually stemmed from gadget addiction. For instance, mobile addiction was found to increase perception of work overload and technology conflict, technology family conflict. Gadget addicts, or what we call anomophobia, have actually a social life that leads to negative impacts and decreased levels of achievement due to inability to divide time between playing gadgets and being responsible students and children in the household. In other words, gadget addict children might not be able to responsibly handle the responsibilities at home because the children are unable to balance between the usage of gadget at the same time doing responsibilities. And they also feel anxious, helpless, and angry when they leave digital technologies. And so parents really have to deal with the negative emotions of children, and that leads to family concern. Furthermore, association between the use of technology and poor psychological outcomes is perceived as complex and often cyclic in nature. Thus, problems in family dynamics are anticipated. Now, how does gadget addiction affect friendships and romantic relationships? Based on a survey conducted by Professor Dr. David Schramm from Utah State University, 43% report that their spouse used technology even in bed every night or almost every night, and this affected their intimate relationship with each other. 34% also admit using technology at least occasionally while eating at home with family members. Imagine interaction in the family is in a way affected even while they are eating. So there is really an evidence of interference of gadget use. Now, we also have here 35% report using technology while eating at a restaurant with spouse or partner, at least occasionally. So imagine they are spending time preparing themselves for a dinner or for a dine out, and it will end up that both of them or one of them will be using technology. So this will affect their face-to-face interaction and sincerity in talking with each other. Now, more harms brought by gadget addiction are perceived to be related to social and psychological difficulties such as relationship breakdowns, isolation. We have low self-confidence, depressive symptoms, and unrealistic expectations of success. That's according to the study of Keane and Gainsbury 2021. Now, let's proceed with strategies for maintaining healthy relationship in the digital age. Since we have discussed that in a way, even those who are addicted to using cell phones, they try to, because of these emails that they receive at home, in a way they are distracted by it. And so there's a need to come up with clear guidelines on the part of organization on the use of mobile email to assure its regular or regulated utilization outside the workplace. We can also observe this suggestion of Dr. David Schramm from Utah State University. We have this K-tube or kick technology out of bed, knowing that's indeed a problem between couples. We also have here the K-toot or kick technology off of tables. So we can really have quality time interacting with family members while eating. We have heard from the first speaker and even with the second speaker that we really have to see to it that we can decide as a family and we can discipline children and agree on the use of the gadget. Now, he further reiterated that we have to talk more, use phone less, and be where you are. We need to truly connect with our loved ones and with people while communicating with them. There are also tips shared by Gani and Nisha for maintaining healthy relationship in the digital age. We have first, communicate effectively. Let's be careful with the use of language and tone in communicating. Listen attentively to what the other person is saying, and we have to respond thoughtfully. Second, set boundaries. It's important to set boundaries and give yourself space to connect and disconnect. This can mean turning off notifications or taking break from the social media. By setting boundaries, burnout can be prevented and healthy relationships can be maintained. So we really have to set our boundaries. Next, be present. We can put away our gadgets, our cell phones, and we have to be present mentally if we are spending time with our loved ones. By this way, we can strengthen our relationship and our connection. Then we also have to build trusts. Observe, transparency, and honesty. You don't have to pretend to be someone that you are not. No, instead, be authentic and build trust. Next, we have be respectful. Treat others like the way you want others to treat you. And we need to appreciate time and efforts of others as well. Now, likewise, we can also practice digital etiquette. Be careful of what you are posting online, what you are uploading on social media. You should know what and when to post, respecting the privacy of your loved ones. You can ask for consent if there's a need to really post important pictures or that involves your family members. We don't have also to show our arguments publicly and use social media to air grievances. Let us learn to practice or address concerns in private and in constructive way. Practice these values of kindness, empathy, and respect when interacting with our partners and other people online. And lastly, as suggested by Ganhi and Nisha, we can actually cultivate a supportive online community. Social media can be a powerful tool for building a supportive online community, just like what we are doing right now. We can look for groups or communities that align with our values and interests. Now, virtually, we have to surround ourselves with like-minded individuals who uplift and inspire us. Now, engaging in positive and supportive online community can enhance our relationship by providing a sense of belongingness and shared experiences. Finally, by observing all those tips and strategies, we can prosper in this digital era while fostering a strong and fulfilling relationship. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Ida, for this powerful sharing. I would like to call upon Dr. Gunjan Shukla to give your feedback on Dr. Ida's speech. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Good to see you. Thank
First
you
of
for your
all,
patience.
I would congratulate you for organizing such a wonderful program, which is really the need of our. I must say, all this brainstorming is actually required by not even from all of us, but everyone who is not the part of this program should look after to this matter and should seriously take up some steps, because as my speaker Ida very rightly quoted, one of the things that digital etiquette, and I would like to add on digital discipline, is must for everyone. By excessive use of digital gadgets, the response, it is directly impacting the behavioral aspect of human being, by which we are observing that to giving a response to some situation has become a reaction. Now young generation is getting more of short tempered, they react so quickly, they have a lot of anger issues, they suffer from as she quoted correctly, that they suffer a lot of distractions, they have a lot of depression issues, isolation, and all those things. Again, I would like to highlight one of the points she quoted so well, that it is also creating a negative mother and child relationship. So I remember that when we were in our childhoods, our mother used to talk to us a lot while feeding us. Now these days, what I am observing, most of the mothers are just using the cartoons and the YouTubes to feed their children, just to keep them engaged, and just they keep them feeding like that. So somewhere I'm feeling, even I feel that in previous eras or years, what used to happen is, if we are suffering any issues, we used to discuss the issues with our family members when we are sitting together. So we used to communicate a lot with our parents, with our siblings, with our friends. As madam quoted, that people are visiting restaurants, but they are watching mobile phones. So here what is happening, the communication is almost zero at times. And for having a good relation, for having a good bonding in the family, communication is must. So somewhere it is directly impacting the communication aspect also. I would also like to quote that as she said, that it is affecting the quality life. So yes, if we need happiness around, we are living a social life, we are social animals, so we need strong bonds in the family. Now these days it has been observed that there is a lot of conflicts between children and parents, between spouses, between partners, between friends. So there is no strong bonding has left, which really needs to be taken care. And some statistics she has mentioned, I really appreciate that 43% of spouses are suffering this issue. They don't speak to each other. just because they are engaged with the digital gadgets and watching all those rubbish things, which is actually useless. And 34% are, using mobile phones while eating on the dining tables, which is really impacting the health. And I would like to add on, even I have observed so many research I have gone through where it has mentioned that people even use the mobile phones in their toilets. So this is something which is really needs to be, I must say, Esther ma'am, that you have taken a wonderful initiative. Each one of us has to take, look into all these things, and we should spread this message to our surroundings also. Let's make some discipline and let's follow the digital etiquettes. So this was all from my side. It was wonderful presentation, Ida. I congratulate you for your participation. I congratulate all the other speakers as well. Just suffering the constraints of time. Otherwise, I would like to speak more on this because I am really feeling so involved in the discussion, which I'm, listening since past half an hour. And so thank you so much for the opportunity, ma'am, and counting me as an observer. I really enjoyed this and looking forward to listen to other speakers. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, Dr. Gunjan. Really, it's really inspiring. I know you wish you could talk because you have a lot to talk because you are a principal and a very experienced person. Definitely, we are looking forward to have you in our next summit. Thank you so much, Dr. Gunjan Shukla. Now, back to you, Dr. Anju. Please proceed.
Thank you very much. And yes, thank you, Professor Dr. Ada and Dr. Gunjan Shukla for this wonderful presentation. And now let's move on to our next speaker. She is Professor Dr. Rania Lambo, a STEM educator, keynote speaker, and advisor at Elegant Empire Education. Her topic today is Gadget addiction, the silent epidemic of digital addiction. And her observer will be Dr. Sharja Vasudev. So please welcome Rania Lambo back.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anjum. Warm greetings to all from Greece to everyone. Thank you very much for this kind invitation. Special thanks to Dr. Esther Mala for her kind invitation. And I'm very delighted and honored to be part of this such significant summits, especially on this topic today. I think it's more relevant than ever. So allow me to share my presentation, if it's possible, because it's disabled.
Yeah, you are co-host now, dear.
Okay, thank you. Is it visible now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So all the previous speakers have already talked about the smartphone generation, how digital devices occupy a leading position in the system, especially of the teenagers' values. And this generation actually is risked. Why? Because people are becoming more and more fragile, mentally unstable, and highly impatient. And furthermore, their sense of reality is getting closer to what we call virtual reality. And this impacts crucial life decision-making and also any other cognitive aspects of our brain. So we could say that gadgets are already an extension of our mind and body, enhancing capabilities, increasing productivity, building our personality around our device. We take them no matter where we go. They are the first thing we reach for when we wake up in the morning. And of course, it's not just a source of entertainment, it's also a secure banking tool, it's a powerful educational tool, a device documenting our lives through photos and videos. Everything is there. So it's something that dominates our lives, leading to high screen time. What we're doing here is education for more than 12 years, organize a workshop for primary and secondary students. It's about cybersecurity. We educate the students not only on what are the benefits and what are the amazing tools, digital tools that students can use, but also we try to raise awareness on these unhealthy ways of use all these gadgets, the digital gadgets that we use. So I have experienced many teenagers who share their feelings, who share their thoughts. We have the case of a young girl who actually wanted to, they were, all the school classroom were at the school excursions. So she tried to take a photo near a cliff, an impressive photo near a cliff. So she got killed during this effort to take a very impressive photo. We have the cases of 500 also children who are now hospitalized because they can't get detached from the laptops, from the mobiles, and they don't go either to the toilet or this. So many serious cases in Greece. Unfortunately, we have high rates of cyber, these cyber crimes, cyber addiction, and also cyberbullying. So what is happening here? We had a presentation from the European Union's Horizon 2020 Research and Innovation Program, because innovation can help us even in this social problem. It's a European program which actually it's organized by 17 partners from 9 countries. It's called a ULA, Fun Way to fight cybercrime. It was presented to the Greek Minister of Education, and we are exploring the options how we can integrate it in our workshop. So why this is innovative? Because here you can see, first we started from a questionnaire which is online. It actually has a diagnosed user. Children can fill out the questionnaire, and then first there is, according to the response, they can take a profile, a first initial profile of their as a user, the profile as a user. The second point is that they can use a game. This is a paradox, we could say, how we would fight gadget addiction if we engage again children in games. However, as I tell you, is a very innovative program. It's funded. It was funded over 1 billion from the European Union because it actually has a cathartic role. Children play this kind of games. Here you can see the pistes, and according to the reply to they give, they can go to a certain piste. This piste, they get another questions, and according to their answers, they receive the profile which says if they are safe users or not. So it's actually a cathartic role. And it has applications not only for youth, but for teachers or for scholars and for police, because the police stations of Italy, of other countries, are involved. In Greece, we talk about, I told you that we have high rates, and it's interesting to see that 1 in 7 teenagers, mostly girls, spend a lot of time on social media. It's something that negatively, of course, affects their state of mind. So most teen girls actually tend to value themselves based on their appearance. Therefore, social media give them the opportunity to present an ideal image of themselves. How? Through filtering or editing a picture. And this, of course, has negative effect because they become addicted to the positive feedback, the approval they receive. And when it comes to 13 years old and 15 years old, this studies show that their addiction rates were higher than those of 11 years old. Psychologists said that direct visual communication has been significantly limited between teenagers, has largely been replaced by refracted visual communication with interference of the mobile phone. So what I'm trying to do during this workshop is, first of all, to present to my students shocking examples. I mentioned some shocking examples about students who are hospitalized. And the second one is to talk to them about the fake world of social media, how fake this is, to try to be perfect, to try to post filtered photos, to not to be depressed when we don't take or don't receive enough likes, when we don't get the feedback that we want, or when we compare ourselves to others who have a better car or a better house and things like that. So I think it's a great idea. It's a workshop that has a great success because it highlights some of these important social tips. Nomophobia, no mobile phone phobia, because 20% of people prefer to go out without shoes. rather than go out without their mobile, because there's fear of missing out the gossips, missing out the photos, missing out the posts of our virtual friends. And approximately 47% of parents believe that the child is addicted to the smartphone, or they are already, they too, they are addicted. 52% of teenagers sit for long periods of time online, and 40% of teenagers feel overwhelmed with the quantity of notifications they receive on a daily basis. Also, you can see here that 12% take their gadgets even in the shower, 40% even in the bathroom, and also these 87% check their mobile many times within an hour. So I'm an education researcher, and I couldn't stop mentioning this about internet addiction, how this damages the brain. Because screen times actually, what it does, overloads the sensory system, fractures attention, and depletes mental reserves. Experts say that what is often behind explosive and aggressive behavior is poor focus. So when attention suffers the ability to process someone's internal external environment. If we talk about internet addiction, this is a behavioral addiction that triggers structural changes in the brain's reward system. So this is associated always with the structural and functional changes in brain regions involving emotional processing, executive attention, decision-making, and cognitive control. This means that affects the volume of the brain. The brain changes are similar, to those who are addicted to alcohol and cocaine. Those who are cocaine addicted. And this picture shows that the brain's gray and white matter fibers result in changes to emotional processing and brain functioning. So all this activation, these regions that were activated here result in diminished cognitive executive control and a strong craving response to the network. Don't even understand how how brain works, especially when we talk about the reward system. You know that especially using social media activates what we call the reward center in the brain. Why? Because it releases what we call dopamine. Dopamine is the happy hormone, or what we call a feel-good chemical, which linked to pleasurable activities such as love or social interaction. So every time that you get a notification from an app, dopamine is released. That's why we want more and more likes and things like that. So social media has the ability to capture and scatter attention. New information is at our disposal through a process called variable ratio reinforcement. We're constantly excited and rewarded to see fresh new posts. So this is an activity which is explained by neuroscientists very well. Heavy social media users perform worse on cognitive tests, especially this is related to bad attention and also bad activity to multitask. They become less able to ignore distraction, and this leads, of course, to poor cognitive performance. Heavy social media use is linked also to memory deficits, especially to transactive memory. This memory involves deciding what information is important enough to store in our brain and what this information what should not be stored. Types of gadget addiction, game addiction, social media shopping, and gambling, unfortunately, something that takes bigger dimensions, especially here in Greece among senior high school students. They lose a lot of money because of gambling. And all of these symptoms, how we get obsessed, has a necessity to use the phone more and more frequently. How many accidents? 26% of accidents, road accidents, are caused by the reckless use of social media and mobile phones. We demand the most recent smartphone version, irritability and depression. Why? Many times, in case when we are depressed, the fun time we spent on the internet can make us forget our sorrow temporarily. But this, of course, leads to more depression and so is this vicious circle. causes anger, tolerance, and people talked before about eye health problems. All the experts accuse actually goggles of the virtual reality that are very, very harmful for the eyesight of children. This cause, of course, mental health problems, insomnia, obesity, lack of direct interaction to performance at school, and the factors that already speakers have mentioned have to do with what we call online, the always on culture, the need for prestige and self-esteem. Low self-esteem is usually a main cause of this. The lines between work and personal life have become increasingly blurred, so this always-on culture can lead to burnout, to a diminished ability to disconnect. We need usually the need for risk, the social comparison said before, the impact of self-esteem, the shyness. People who are very shy or have difficulty in communicating with other people can have a tendency on the internet as a way of escape. So all this, the illusion, of course, of connection, because we're talking about fake relationships, all these are usually contributing factors to what we call gadget addiction. And if we talk especially about phone, the causes is instant gratification. This has to do with the brain reward system mentioned before, the fear of missing out, emotional regulation, escapism, because this provides an escape from real world concerns. It's an emotional discomfort. Social media and video games many times provide brief relief from stress, from worry and loneliness, and help us somehow to cope with bad feelings. So the consequences we know about this, mental health issues, non-depth relationships, the accidents, cyberbullying, privacy risks, and what would be the recommendations before concluding. Of course, we talk about the digital detox, which means periodically disconnected from technology. Social media can give us opportunity to recharge and reconnect with ourselves. How to promote mindfulness, integrating mindfulness practices and meditation into our daily routines can actually help us cultivate a greater sense of self-awareness and presence. How to foster authentic connections with others. How to promote mental health awareness activities. For instance, there is a mental health awareness week campaign which is organized in schools. Set up boundaries, establish restrictions, search for alternative activities. The education games I mentioned before, and how the workplace, in the business landscape, we need to promote a healthy work-life balance, encourage employees to disconnect from the digital device outside of work hours. So by creating a supporting environment that prioritizes mental well-being, this way employers can help mitigate the effects of the always online culture. So before concluding, I want to give you food for thought. That recently I was in a conference in the summer, and it was about 3D printing and cultural use, digital tool. And there was representatives of the European Union who told us that Sweden has actually banned the use of digital technologies in the classroom. This announcement was a bomb to the European Union in the period when they actually fund 2 billion to schools in order to implement educational programs about artificial intelligence. So this is a case, we talk about a country which was very tech savvy, and during this period, the last years, they have, all the experts there have noticed that the performance of children are becoming lower and lower, that children have lost their handwriting skills, the mathematical skills, the scientific skills, the reading skills, and they have also low performances in PISA tests and in competitions. So all this led the experts in Sweden to ban the use of digital technologies, and this there are other countries also like Netherlands who follow this the same example. So maybe this digital de-escalation is possible. If you want my opinion, I don't think that banning something is the solution, but we can find always the golden recipe, which is combine digital tools, which is an amazing tool, I think, with traditional learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rania, for this phenomenal presentation. I know you are also another one who has a lot of good things to share with all of us. Thank you. Back to you. Now I think the observer, Dr. Sailaja, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Thank
welcome,
you
welcome.
so much.
You are the
Thank
observer
you.
for our and Dr. Rania. Please proceed.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much,
coming.
Esther ma'am, for sharing this opportunity as a observer with me. And really, it's a wonderful event. And congratulations, ma'am.
Thank you.
I would like to say a few words on Rania ma'am's presentation. It was really a very wonderful presentation. I like your first slide, the smartphone generation a risk to society. I liked it most, and it was a good initiative which you shared that Greece Ministry of Education and Religious Affairs organized a workshop on cyber security. Really, it's very appreciable effort. And you talked about cyber crimes and cyberbullying very beautifully. If children will engage in games, it will be beneficial for health. It was also it's your very good observation. And you shared about some impact of that gadget addiction, like anger, tension, depression. Yes, it's very truly said. Digital addiction can significantly impact physical health too. This includes eye strain, headache, etc. And digital addiction can hamper social relationships also. You beautifully define each and everything, and I love your recommendations also. These recommendations are very beneficial, and really we look for alternative activities and educational games to reduce this type of addiction, gadget addiction. And really it was a very beautiful presentation, and I like your all slides and your survey which you shown in your PPT, and you explain it very well. Heartily congratulations, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sailaja, for these wonderful comments. Now back to you, Dr. Anju. Please proceed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Rania, for the wonderful presentation, and thanks to Dr. Shailaja for the wonderful comments coming in. And yes, now it's time to move to our next speaker. So please welcome our next speaker, Mr. Mohammed Zubair Saifi. He's an educationist and a keynote speaker. He will be speaking on the topic exploring the impact of gadgets on special needs children with learning disabilities, unveiling the positive and negative aspects. And his observer will be Koshia. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, Anju ma'am. First of all, good evening, namaste, assalamu alaikum to all of you. I would like to express, am I audible? I would like to express
louder,
my gratitude.
please. Yes.
Yes. I would like to express my gratitude to, yes, thank you. To Professor Easter Mala and the organizers and her team for inviting me at this platform. And I'm working in the field of special education, and where technology play vital role to overcome the barriers. This is a different aspect because, gadgets, are playing vital role in the, for example, firstly, I would talk about little bit about special needs children who have special needs. All have unique abilities and certain personal limitations, and some children have more than one specific disabilities. And when we talk about special needs, keep in the mind that this is a very broad term, and it is often used to describe a very wide range of physical, emotional, mental, or behavioral disabilities there. And when we talk about the learning disability, heterogeneous condition, and it is an umbrella term where lots of disorders are there, and deficit in the processing language, spoken, writing, and that may manifest itself as a difficulty to comprehend, speak, read, write. Lots of other disabilities like autism or hearing impairment or visual impairment or cerebral palsy. But the topic is, how we can use, technology or the gadgets and the positive and negative aspects For example, when we talk about children with special needs or the learning disabled students, including those who with various learning disabilities often use a range of gadgets and assistive technology to help remove barriers. Because I am talking in context of special education and education here, and it will improve their quality of life. For example, augmentative and alternative communication AAC devices like the iPad with communication apps or dedicated communication devices like the Toby Dynavox, because LD students are visual learners. They when we show them, they will learn a lot. So these devices help non-verbal children or those with speech disorders to express themselves. So gadgets are playing vital role for them, communicate their needs and participate in the social interactions. So other thing is that like text to speech softwares and LD students, because they have problem in reading, writing, sometimes dyslexia, dysgraphia, dyslexia, aphasia, lots of disorders and comorbidity also there, ADHD, and obsessive compulsive disorder, other things and behavioral issues they have. So software applications like text aloud or built-in features like Apple's voiceover, for example, these tools are helpful for children with reading difficulties, dyslexia or visual impairment, as they convert written text into spoken words, making content more accessible for them. And the screen readers are there, JAWS, job access with speech, or NVDA, non visual desktop access. These softwares programs provide spoken feedback to children with visual impairment or sometimes low vision, or even sometimes we can use these things for learning disabled students, allowing them to navigate digital content and websites and applications. And we can also use customizable keyboards, keyboards with larger keys and high contrast or customizable layouts, because these keyboards are the beneficial for children with motor skills difficulties, dyspraxia, because dyspraxia is also part of learning disability. They have fine motor and gross motor problem. They have difficulty in holding the pen or gripping, and they have problem in eye-hand coordination. So as they provide a more accessible and comfortable typing experiences for them. And lots of touch screen devices and tablets, iPads, Android tablets, and other touch screen devices. Many children with special needs find touch screen phases and intuitive and easier to interact. And lots of sensory tools or the gadgets, and visual aids and eye tracking devices we can use. Toby eye tracker, for example, these devices enable children with severe physical disabilities to control computers and communication. And lots of application softwares we can use on gadgets like Kurzweil 3000 for dyslexia, because dyslexia is a reading problem, and they are not able to interpret the meaning of the text. So specialized education software tailors content and exercises to address individual learning challenges, making learning more accessible. And in other disabilities, rather apart from the learning disability, like for HI students, hearing impairment, cochlear implant, lots of students are not able to hear. So cochlear nucleus or MAD-EI cochlear implant system is there, and cochlear implant are surgically implanted devices and gadgets that provide sound into input into the children and severe to profound hearing loss. So they help improve hearing and speech development. For visual impairment, for example, Braille displays, Braille is the language for visual impairment students. So Braille Note Touch Plus or Focus 40, lots of Braille, devices are there we can use, switch devices we can use. So, and assistive devices, lots of assistive devices, picture to speech devices are there like Go Talk and Quick Talker. So lots of gadgets are there, lots of applications we can use on them. And GPS tracker, a person is low vision or is visual impairment, so GPS tracker and geofencing will definitely help them. So parents of children and with autism or learning disability or other cognitive disorder use GPS trackers for geofencing, to keep their children safe by tracking their location. And lots of screen readers are there, and optical character recognition scanners are there. The devices, OCR scanners, convert printed text into digital text or spoken words sometimes. So if we, so these are the things. Magnification softwares are there, zoom text or magic. So we can use these softwares on gadgets. So gadgets are, removing the barriers and providing equity in the society, because accessibility, we have to remove the barriers, then the infrastructure barriers or the attitudinal barriers, and we have to provide the equal opportunities for special kids in the society. We have to make them independent, and lots of like I was talking, that navigation apps are there, and the vibrating or visual alerts for special kids. These devices provide notification using vibrations or visual cues, and so these are, lots of things we can use in special education to overcome the problems of, or to manage, or to provide intervention for the special kids in the society. But on the other hand, when we talk about the social interaction, because in my opinion, the balance use is important, and the social interaction, excessive use of gadgets can sometimes, yes, it is said by Rania that a social interaction problem is there. Social excessive use of gadgets sometimes create problems, and affective domain and social domains are also important, because not only we have to talk about the academic, we also talk about the non-academic areas, the affective domain, of psychomotor domain, or other domain areas, socialization or other things. So these things, so balancing technology with opportunities for personal growth is important, and skill development, sometimes, and in context of special education, the balanced use of gadgets play a pivotal role in removing barriers for special needs, increasing accessibility and making the life easier for disabled or the special needs kids. And these gadgets are not just tools, but empowering instruments, that can transform the educational experiences for the kids. And balanced use of gadgets ensure the assistive technologies are, integrated effectively into the learning process and supplementing, rather than replacing essential skills. For example, in learning disability, consider a student with dyslexia who utilize text-to-speech software. While this technology enables them to, access written content, and it is essential that a student also receives, structured reading support, and continues to work or improving their reading and comprehension skills. So gadget enhance accessibility by providing alternative means of communication and learning in context of special education. Because for a non-verbal student with autism who use a augmentative and alternative devices, this technology not only enable them to express their needs, because they have socialization problem, they are not able to express their views, they feel lonely. So but additionally, these gadgets simplify task for them, and the key lies in balance. Gadgets should be viewed as supportive tools, not crutches. Over reliance on technology can hinder skill development and limit personal growth sometimes. So educators and the therapist, or the special educators and parents must work together in collaborative manner to ensure that the use of gadgets aligns with the individual needs and goals of each student. So, like Rania was saying that, gadgets, designed for individuals with learning disability have proven to be transformative tools, offering targeted solutions to address their unique challenges. So previous speaker was saying the link between the health issues, stress, and the role of dopamine in the brain, underscores the importance of understanding how gadgets can be used effectively to manage these factors, because dopamine is a neurotransmitter associated with feelings of pleasure and reward, and it plays a key role in our overall well-being. So when stresses lead to imbalances dopamine production, health issues like anxiety and depression can arise, and gadgets can serve as powerful tools for stress reduction and mood regulation. So mindfulness and relaxation apps, for instance, and help individuals manage stress by promoting activities like meditation and deep breathing, which trigger the release of dopamine and contribute to a sense of well-being. And the other aspect, the social isolation and the sensory overload by the use of gadgets, dependency on them, lack of physical activity for them, and sleep disruption, cyberbullying, frustration, lots of things, lots of examples we can give in this thing. So But gadgets can serve as powerful assistive tools. For example, if I am providing the material, content material to visual impairment or HI student, hearing impairment students, so I have to convert the reading text material into the auditory mode. The textual, the material I will convert in the auditory mode. Then they will able to listen. So this is gadgets are helping them. So
Wonderful
gadgets,
sharing.
thank
Wonderful
you.
sharing,
I'm concluding.
Sir Zubair.
I'm concluding.
I know yours is a wonderful topic,
thank
magnificent
you.
sharing. You know,
Thank you
I
very
know your topic is very, very unique because it involves disabled children. Yeah. So sorry to interrupt you. We will have you again in our sessions. And now I would like to invite Coach Yama to give the observation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Hello, everyone. Very good evening again. Congratulations, my speaker, Mohammed Zubair, for that wonderful speech. Actually, we learned a lot. I actually amused at the things that the technology has given for us, for the people, especially for the special need children. It is, I think it's play a huge role, and students of these special need children can benefit it from our technology and gadgets and devices, software especially. All these are very, very, very important, and we are really happy to see that they can aid in their not only in academical learning, also in their personal development, socializing. So all the technology gives us that opportunity, right? So why don't we understand the importance of it, how to use it? As you rightly mentioned, it should be an assisting tool for us. We should not addict to that, right? Get addict to that. So even you beautifully mentioned all the usage of these applications, how visually impaired people use, and how the motor skills development, you can use the applications and customize keyboards and optical devices, and even Zoom also, you said something new for them. They have some touching system and all, and whatever it is, that so we as parents or the people who have special need children, they can be really happy to use this application, for that their children can benefit from it very well, right? Equally, like not like that in past days that they were neglected. Now they don't have to, because of this technology development. So the main point is, even though your children may be special child, but you have to be careful with the limitations, right? So again, they might feel bored, or they might feel lonely, so that they might get into cyberbullying, and also be aware of that as a parents or educators about them. So thank you very much for that wonderful share. Back to you.
Welcome. Welcome. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Coach Yama. I would like to just share something here. Okay, I think this topic here, there tend to be a lot of points interlacking, means repetition. Yeah, so if you find that your presentation is long, so maybe you can just eliminate what others have shared and put forth something new or something different from your side. Yeah, so that we can save a bit of time. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Sir, and thank you, Mohammed Zubair Sir and Kushiyama, for your wonderful inputs. And now it's time for us to move to our next speaker. But before that, I would just like to say something, that please remember, all the speakers, all the observers, please remember that the time limit for the speakers is 7 to 10 minutes, and for the observers, it is 1 minute. Please maintain the time limits. Remember to have the time constraints. So let's move to the next speaker. So the next speaker will be Madam Jasmine Crush. She's an educator and international speaker, and her topic is impact of digital tools in education on youngsters. And her observer will be Sonal Judge, ma'am. Over to you, Jasmine, ma'am.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone.
Hello, welcome.
So
welcome.
thank you, Dr. Ethan Invaldi, so meeting today. And so my topic today is the impact of digital in education center. So we know nowadays digital technology is developing the especially social networking platform tool and a series of websites in hundreds of millions of views such as Facebook, WeChat, Weibo, or Instagram, and have so extremely attractive trend of this type of tool, especially for young people. And the generation that grabs trend well and sensitive to internet innovations being passionate about and using social networks in a virtual. Most young people today almost all have Facebook's account, Weibo and Zalo and Instagram. We can freely express their feeling, told and express their self. So with a strong development of science, of technology, the emergence of more and more social networking, science and creativity impacted all area of human activity and events. Especially some people beside many activities, social networking science also cause bad and unpredictable consequently overcoming the negative effect of social networking side is a responsibility of the entire community and mainly the responsibility of management, education of orientation, family, school, authority, and more importantly, the responsibility of community of how it's shall. So in recent years, along with the development of social information technology in the general social networking side, in particular, especially the internet, has developed very strongly and is a great influence, both positive and negative, to all activity and activity of people, especially some people with the outstanding theater of fast connection with wide sharing with a phone or computer or connecting to internet. We can access and participate in many websites. So also each person purpose, method, and level of participation in social networking side in different and thing has common in viewing in unimpressive parts people's lives. So the internet and social networking site bring a lot of convenience to you because of the part information speed, rich and divide content. If you know how to explore and use properly, it brings great efficiency, both of study, both living and social life for young people and country will cause many negative consequences. The outstanding future social networking side and information, but lack information. So the most worrying thing today is that a lot of information on social network content, harmful content, schedule and entire and participate as pornographic movie, also lifestyle is setting violent and sexually explicit content. It's setting word dividing nation actually related with the attractive and illusive characteristics of social networking side of easy for participants to fall is a childish. See for information. As any time a quick calcium to Netflix says study, renewable and productive, feel mentally develops and immerse themselves in the vital wound in real life. This is factors that social theoretic effect and how psychology and formation and development of personality and boost lifestyle of people, especially young people. So to limit the negative influence of social networking site on education, nurturing and developing the perfect personality and good style of people, especially today, as some every family school in tuition access units of listing need to do good job or education of training young people to learn of what need of the role of efforts and shortcoming of participating and using social network sites. So along with the progress of social internet in the general and social networking site in particular, and increasingly developing in its advisable and objective trend, or to have some people participate and use social networking site in a healthy, positive, and easy way. It is important first in for most of our parent, teacher, and leader has and census and organization of to have some participants and use social networking site in healthy and positive use way in move to good job or education, and guiding them to clearly understand social networking site as its benefit and limitation, and productive participation, living study, and professional work. Okay, thank you. And so I think we should control with internet nowadays. Thank you so much, and my sharing today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Jasmine. You are a very hardworking teacher, I know, and you are very, very busy. You told me you'll be coming very late. You might not even make it, but you still came in very early and be patient. Thank you so much for this fascinating sharing. Thank you. Your observer will be Mrs. Shona. Please.
Yeah, so it was wonderful hearing Jasmine ma'am about how social networking sites can be used productively and effectively to influence the masses. So when people talk about the wars and making peace and harmony and talk about humanity, definitely sometimes or the other, people don't try to understand the message clearly, and that is the misconception that we overtake. So as a teacher, I am sure that definitely you are trying to make a change in the minds of the people, of the parents, and of the educators at large in the society. By the way, you spoke so clearly that yes, social networking sites can be a pro and a con, but it is up to us humans to balance that mindset and use mindful strategies to create such holistic development, not in terms of academic, but yes, in terms of humanity education. So it was wonderful hearing your speech, ma'am. Hats off to you. And the more that I try to understand from your speech, that's all that I can say. And respect to you from India.
Thank you so much, Sonalji. Thank you so much. Back to you, Dr. Anjum.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Jasmine, ma'am. Thank you, Sunil, ma'am. Yes, of course. There are pros and cons of the social networking side, but that all again depends on us how we maintain the balance and how we handle it. So I would like to welcome our next speaker, Dr. Shilpi Upadhyay, ma'am. She is Assistant Professor at University of Avantika. She is a speaker, soft skill trainer, and Toastmaster. Her topic for today's summit is academic and work performance. She will be speaking on the impact of gadget addiction on academic achievement, workplace productivity, and the role of gadgets and balancing technology use with educational and professional responsibilities. And her observer will be Dr. Magna and so over to you, Shilpi ma'am.
Welcome, Dr. Shilpi.
Thank you so much, and a warm greeting to everyone from India and all the Indians too. So it is just a wonderful this thing to see that everybody is talking on the same topic, and which is actually the need of the hour. And I heartily welcome all of you and thank Estera for organizing such a wonderful event, which is just amazing. So before I go ahead, I would like to check that whether my voice is properly audible to everyone. Yes or no?
Yes, yes.
Yes, thank you. And if you can enable my screen sharing, which I will be needing later, little later. Okay, so by the time I get screen sharing rights, I would like to start my session by saying that too much of anything is bad, but too much of good whiskey is barely enough. So my topic for today was 21st century gadget addiction, which is there, and I was supposed to discuss impact on education and at the workplace both. And since the starting, I've been observing this session, and I really feel that many of our eminent speakers, they have highlighted this thing very, very well. So I thought, why not to get into a concept which is called as hook concept. Hope we all have heard about the hook concept. So I thought, why not to get to the root cause that why all these things are happening. So coming back to the gadget addiction, please all of you tell me that how many of you are having your mobile phones near you? If you can please raise your hands. How many of you are using either mobile phone or you have your mobile phones? I think almost everyone, right? Everyone. Second, how many of you are still using WhatsApp or accessing over the Google or checking over the Facebook? How many of you are doing that? Again, almost the majority, right? So why is it happening? We know we have a lot of things to say that yes, I need to update a lot of things on the Facebook, I need to be updated on the WhatsApp, I need to be updated on the Instagram, I need to be in tone with my work profile, and if I'm sharing sometime here, I also need to update my office. But please put your hands on your heart and tell me truly, is this the only reason? I don't agree. I really don't agree that this is the only reason that to keep ourselves updated or in tone with the time or to update at the same time when we are talking about the gadget addiction, we are actually addicted with the gadget and putting everything on the internet. The only reason is to keep up to the pace. No. The reason is the reward what we receive out of it. The reason is the intention what we serve, and that intention is being rewarded. That is called as the hook concept. There is a book by the eminent writer who has very clearly identified this thing, and he is Neil Isles hook model. It is called as Neil Isles hook model, and he very clearly says that boredom acts as an internal trigger and external notification. Internal trigger and boredom is when we do not have anything to do, when we do not have anything to explore, when we do not have anything to think around. And why do we do that? Because we have stopped thinking. As I've got two categories to talk about today, one is education and one is workforce. So I have come up with the common pointers on these things. So if we talk about the students, which we have been discussing since long, that there is a fear of missing out, there is boredom, there is, and they do not have a lot of activities to do, then loss of parenting, and all these things we have discussed. And also they want to maintain their social strata. But let's understand what is the reason behind it. The reason remains the same for both of the categories. Either you talk about the workplace or you talk about the students. Lack of concentration. I agree that there are a lot of positive things which Gadgets has given us. That is why I am able to see all these beautiful ladies and handsome hunks who are sitting over here, and I can literally smile and wave at you all. That is one good thing. But the second thing is lack of concentration. If you go to the science tells you very, very clearly that in mobile, in televisions, in internet, time of changing the screen, color, images is very fast. Thus, it leads to the lesser level of concentration. Correct? This is one thing which leads to lesser level of concentration, and that is the reason when you talk about the children nowadays, or when you talk about the working professional nowadays, we will always say, and you talk about the students who are doing graduation also, we'll say our attention span is lesser than 15 or 20 minutes. From where does this came automatically? This was not in the earlier days, right? We were playing with each other. We had longer set of activities. We had board games, lot of board games, and we used to sit for 45 minutes, 1 hour. I would request to mute yourself, please. So we were actually playing those games and we were sitting there for 45 minutes, 1 hour. That time there was nothing like that because we were not addicted and we were not exposed to such fast moving pictures and colors. So I am going to talk something scientific today, which is very, very important to understand that why this hooking up concept is that important. Why we are not able to leave it when we all are here talking about such wonderful things. We know that where is the drawback, but what is the reason? Why are we not able to leave it? So first thing, first drawback is when you are exposed to a lot of pictures, lot of colors which change very fast, your concentration loses. If I talk about this screen also, I think we can see multiple colors, multiple images, multiple things changing. Sometimes someone is switching on the camera, sometimes someone is switching off the camera. We are shaking our heads, we are moving. What is this? This is the kind of, we are not able to concentrate on any one particular thing. Just a live example. Second, a question for you all. Please put in the chat window, or you can state with your emojis also. If you lose your mobile for some time, I take your mobile from you for an hour or so, how will you feel? Panic? If you feel panic, you may write P in the chat window. If you feel desperate, you may write D in the chat window. If you feel sick and gloomy, you may write S in the chat window. And if you may feel relieved, you may write R in the chat window. And I know very less are we going to feel the R. If you are writing R, I know how many are you going to lie. So I'll repeat my question. If your mobile phone is misplaced for some time, and if you're going to feel panic, write P in the chat window. If you're going to feel desperate, oh, I need it now, then you need to write D in the chat window. And if you're going to feel sick and gloomy, you need to write S in the chat window. And if you're going to feel relieved, you need to write R in the chat window. And I'm sure relieved will be much lesser, though we may write. I am sure about it. So, yes, I'm waiting for the answers. I cannot get the answers. I hope chat window is open.
Yeah, it's open. It's open.
So I got from Dr. Anjum Qureshi S, and rest of you please don't feel shy because I know we all sail in the same boat. So there is nothing to hide. So S, P, okay. Okay, so but I'll share a small survey with you all. I can share my screen now, I believe. Yeah. So I'll share a small survey with you all, which I have it here. So this survey says that 73% of the people feel panicked. And this survey is from the Lookout. If at all you lose your mobile phone, 73% feel panic, 14% feel desperate, 7% feel sick, and only 6% of you feel relieved. So this is the reality actually. Nowadays, we may accept it or not, but yes, this is the fact. Right? So we need to really work on it that the trigger, what is the trigger? Which is actually giving your brain an action. I'm again talking about the hook concept. Trigger, which is actually moving your brain into action. Then that action tends you to the reward, and then reward comes from the investment. Investment is your time, money, information, mobile accessing, your losing your family time. That all is your investment, which you do for an addiction. There is a book by him written on that hook. Why these advertisements lead us to some, some investment of money, buying something, because that is the concept of hook. And to deal with it little scientifically, I would like to again share my screen. Give me a minute. I'm trying to share my screen because I have something for you people which I have tried to get an image of the brain. Probably, if I can show it to you. Is my screen visible? Yes or no?
Yes, yes, it's visible, but it's not full.
It's not full.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now okay.
It's full now. Okay. Thank you.
Now.
So, I'll talk about something from the brain part. Basically, we have heard a lot about dopamine and all other systems, right? So, in our brain, there are various behavioral conditioning processes, conditioning addictions, which give you reward. And whenever you get the reward, I am literally opening this screen to read these terms very correctly. Your prefrontal cortex, your interior cingulate cortex, your supplementary motor area, and the parts of cerebrum, these starts getting activated. And once when these things start getting activated, your dopamine releases. Because in unintentionally you are rewarding yourself for the addiction for which your brain has triggered you. Right? So when as adults we do this, when as professionals we do this, similar kind of thing is being done by a child. And we cannot expect a child to stay away from an addiction. And dopamine is the major key player when you talk about the reward circuit. Why do you feel to be appreciated always? If somebody will come and say, wow, you're looking beautiful, your smile is beautiful. For example, I can see Sonal Jha ma'am or Natalia ma'am. If I say, oh my God, you're looking in specs, also people are looking amazing. So why do you feel good about me? You think about me. Yes, Shilpi was there on this. Because that has released your dopamine. And similar kind of addiction is given by any gadget which you talk about. You reward yourself. And there is the chemistry which lies behind addiction and substance. This is the kind of addiction we are talking about. So there are various pathways in the brain which talks about it. As I have told you in the last slide, that there is a frontal cortex which ignite your dopamine. Then you have your substantia nigra and scrotal pathways. And then what are the functions? How are these things avoided? Through your motivation, through your pleasure, through your motor function, through your compulsion, all these things. And how does they affect you? In your moods, swings, in your memory, in processing anything, in sleeping, in cognition. Now, coming to memory and cognition, I would like to share something very important with you all, that these days we oftenly talk about कि यार हम तो सब भूल जाते हैं. We tend to forget everything. This is a factor of the age. We do not get that kind of food and environment as it was in our past days. No. You have created environment for you. You have decided on your environment. Your environment is your election. Right. So it is very important to understand that not only does this affects you on memory issues, but it also affects you in the cognitive abilities. If you talk about a child, the basic brain functions does not work properly. Right? So the action of hands, action of legs, walking action, writing actions, these are not in the proper shape. So one thing, and this happens with any professional also. We are losing on concentration, we are losing on cognitive abilities. How? We can, if we are thinking, we are thinking. If we are talking, we are talking. If we are accessing Facebook, we are accessing Facebook. And let me tell you, data shows that Facebook access is highest. You talk about US, you talk about India, you talk about any other country. Facebook access is highest. So that is actually losing control on your cognitive abilities. You does not have that control over your brain. So how do you think as a student or as an academician or as a professional you can perform well? You cannot. You cannot. So I have got this message to conclude. I hope I have 1-2 minutes to share the screen. Can I go ahead, please? Yeah?
No, dear, don't have time, dear.
Just the last slide. I'm sorry for that.
Very fast one can. Yeah, fast.
So, what revolution in brain you get if you go to this hook concept? You get addicted. Addicted sensitize you always that I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. Then your tolerance level ends there. You are unable to create that high tolerance level, and that leads to repetitive behavior of anything. whether you are a professional or you are an academician. In both the cases, that is there. And you start depending on that addiction. That what is your addiction? And then you come up with withdrawal systems, not from the addiction, but from the surroundings, from the people who tell you that this is wrong. And then you get into the loneliness, depression, all these things. So I believe that it is the right time to take care of your cognitive abilities, to take care of your brain, to take care of yourself, and understand that you shall not be dependent to any addiction. Because talking about how can we remove it, talking about tips is absolutely fine. But please understand the root cause is that these things are made in the pattern to make you addicted, to give you that repetitive behavior and decrease your tolerance, to give you that feeling of reward and to give you that feeling of dopamine every time. When we'll finish one web series on the net series, when we'll see one like on Facebook, when we'll see two smileys on Instagram and three shares of our reels, we'll be, oh wow, we are king of this world. And that is your dopamine level, your worth, and we feel happy. And when you don't get it, you start feeling sad. So I believe that let's start taking control of ourselves, and that can be the only one tip which I can share. Because if you see the bigger companies, they have even launched the apps, regulation apps. Apple has launched in its mobile phones the regulation apps that shall be the parenting control apps. So these are the few examples, and I would conclude with the examples to leave a thought process for you that if these companies are launching these apps, where shall we need to stand? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this interesting sharing, insightful and interesting sharing, Dr. Silpi.
Thank you.
Yeah, because we are running out of time. Now I'd like to invite Dr. Spresha to give the feedback.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much, Dr. Shilpi, for being here and presenting this very informative, not only, but very expositive to all the problems that come about to the use of gadget nowadays. And I highly appreciate the practicality that and applicability that you just offered to us as educators to address to our young generation, to tell them why it is not useful to be all the time on the gadgets and to use the technology without any limit at all.
1 minute, Dr. Spresha. Sorry to interrupt you. I think it's supposed to be Dr. Meghna, right?
Oh, don't worry. So I listen
No,
to
you
her.
can carry on. I think Dr. Meghna, do you mind giving the feedback to the next speaker?
I took notes, so don't.
I'm so sorry.
Okay,
it's my
okay.
mistake.
Pass them to.
No,
yeah.
you can. You please carry on.
No, don't worry. I'm talking about other persons, so don't worry. Just give her the chance.
Thank you. No, I think you already started, so you finish it. Dr. Meghna will be giving the feedback for the next speaker.
I think yes, I'll be lucky enough to get 2 feedbacks.
No, I'm like coordinating here with who is talking next and all that. Totally slipped my mind. Yes,
Okay.
Dr. Meghna, I'm
I
so
think
sorry.
I can also give I can also have my observation later after our
Yeah, another speaker. We still need still somebody. She's supposed to do that. So now since she's doing it, you can do for the next one, yeah?
Can I have it with that, ma'am? Because I am already having a bad signal here. You know, I'm already
Yeah, one
experiencing.
so the battery is so out. The other person. Yeah, wait. Just please proceed, Dr. Spresha.
But don't worry, don't worry.
Sorry
Give her time. Yes, give her time.
Huh?
Yes, you may give the floor to Magna. So
you don't mind? I'm so sorry.
No, yeah, it's okay. It's okay for me.
So
don't
next,
worry. Don't worry.
So next you will give observation for our Dr. Ijoma, yeah? Her battery also running out.
My observation is pending. It is incomplete. Please complete that.
Dr. Meghna, you may give the feedback. Sorry. Yeah, Dr. Meghna.
Okay.
Yeah, we make it short.
It's early. It's already midnight, past midnight now in the Philippines. good morning to each and everyone, the distinct observers and international speakers who already shared their intellectual information regarding the overuse of technologies and how it is how it adds to addiction or makes us addicted to. So first and foremost, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude, of course, to our ambassador, Dr. Esther Mala, for inviting me once again to be one of the observers of this conference, and Dr. Shilpi Upadhyay, if I'm not sorry if I hope I've mentioned your name clearly. So, Dr. Shilpi, you did a very nice explanation about the dopamine. Actually, I was expecting that you will be discussing about academic and work performance of the students in relation to the gadget use. But however, it's also quite uh, nowadays we're already into technology wherein every one of us are already using gadgets every now and then. And it's nice to hear from you, ma'am, that although it can give us pleasure, it could give us a good reward, but at the end we have to control it because we should not overuse it since it will sometimes it will even give to mental health mental problems, or will be able to add some depression to some who will be overusing gadgets addiction. So uh, we also understand that gadget nowadays or technology nowadays is although it's beneficial, especially in the education setting, or like this conference like this or other platforms in the business as well. But however, it may also as you mentioned earlier, that when you are in the school or in the classroom, it will allow us to listen, but at the same time, it will give us lack of concentration, which is also true. And although there are also instances wherein we will be happy to use it, we will be excited because of the release of the dopamine in our brains. But however, there must be a sensitivity of the effect of this overuse of technology. So there must be a control of everything, especially when using or being addictive to the use of technology. So
Dr. Magna, please conclude. Please conclude.
Okay, welcome. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Yeah, we can hear you, ma'am, but please conclude.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so can I continue, ma'am? I will just going to have a short conclusion with regards of the presentation of Dr. Shilpi Upadhyay earlier, that the use of mobile technology and social media has been proven to release dopamine, which is a happy hormone. But there must be a control of everything that we will going to do. Although it plays a vital role in of course in for us, especially in everyday or regular activities that we do. We are very excited to meet in social interactions, friends and the like. But however, we always have to have a control of everything. Thank you once again, Dr. Esther Mala, for giving me the opportunity to be part of this international conference, and to all the speakers who have given all their wit and of course knowledge towards gadget addiction, and of course to Dr. Shilpi Upadhyay, and earlier it was Dr. I think it was Dr. Shrepsa Del
Reza.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Sorry, Doc, for the interruption because
Thank you,
in the
dear. Thank you, dear, for your patience.
yeah,
We're
it's
looking
okay.
forward to have you as our speaker in our next session. Yeah.
You know, you know what, Doc, we are experiencing earlier. I was telling you that I'm afraid if I can still pursue or we will going to have
I
blackout.
know. Most of the time you have
Yeah, but
connection.
it was really true and it happened.
Yeah.
While waiting earlier for the others to speak, I was experiencing many times blackout many times. So
Yes,
yeah,
somehow
really
you made it.
my best to be part of this conference.
Yes, thank you, dear. Thank you, dear. Now I think the other speaker is not here because her battery is out. Is she
Okay,
here?
thank you, Doc.
Is she here? Dr. Ijoma, is she here?
Yes, I'm
Yeah,
here.
she's here.
Yes,
She's here. Good, good.
Yeah,
Good.
so
Please.
over to you, Dr. Isoma.
Like, you haven't introduced her, dear.
Yeah, just a minute.
Yeah, please
Yeah.
introduce.
So now let's welcome our next speaker, Dr. Isoma Esther from Nigeria. She's a human capacity development expert, international author, and international speaker. And her topic is technology and distraction, dealing with the digital distraction in the modern world, 21st century epidemic. And her observer will be Dr. Shpresa Denisha. So over to you, Isoma Esther. Okay, thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here on Education Revolution Summit 2023. And I appreciate Dr. Esther Mala for hosting this great event. And I appreciate all the speakers who have gone ahead of me and those that will speak thereafter. I appreciate each and every one of you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each and every one of you. I will go ahead to share my screen. Please, can you enable screen sharing?
You may share now, Dr. Ijoma.
Okay. All right, so the theme of the event is gadget addiction and related social problems in 21st century. And I'm speaking specifically on technology and distraction, dealing with digital distraction in the modern world, 21st century epidemic. For a start, we all know that in the late 1980s, there was nothing like gadgets. The gadget use wasn't as prevalent as it is. And then we have children who play together outdoors. People talk to each other more often. Verbal communication was face to face. Chat jargon did not exist because people knew their spellings well as they read more books. People enjoyed spending more time outdoors with family and friends. Entertainment came from playing sports, going to movies, watching movies as a family. Writers use their typewriter or word processors. And then we also have the life with gadgets. The life with gadgets, we have a whole lot of things going on. Use of mobile phones, tablets as pacifiers for peace, improved speed of communication by orders of magnitude, leading to faster decision making, existence of mobile apps for entertainment, social interaction through digital media, paying bills, accessing bank accounts. You know, a whole lot of things is going on in this 21st century. Times have really changed and people are getting addicted with gadget use. But today I will be focusing on children. I am the CEO of Mommy and I magazine, a magazine that caters to the affairs of mom and children. And I will be talking about this gadget use, the effect it has on children. You know, psychosocially, there is a lack of social interaction and engagement with family and peers. A lot of children, a lot of toddlers play with their tablets, play with their parents' phones, play with their own phones, which make them not to have an engagement and bonding with family members and peers. We also have vision. It has been proven that Eye strain, dry or irritated eyes are oftentimes encountered when children face the gadgets for a long period of time. There is an increase or rise in myopia, which poses a risk too. We have the overall general health. Too much gadget exposure increases childhood health disorders and unhealthy food consumption, leading to obesity. We also have body posture. Children tend to sit at one place using electronic gadgets continuously for a long time, which results in back pain. We also have behavioral effects because they are more likely to exhibit increased aggression and irritability, difficulty in maintaining concentration, and reduced attention spans are also observed among children, toddlers, teenagers, and in the education sector, elementary school age, children who have television gadgets in their bedrooms perform lesser than children who don't. Talking about sleep quality, blue light from computer and device screens, when used in the evening, alters the brain's sleep rhythms. The brain reads the screen light as daytime, thus leading to prolonged hours of being awake. And we all know that children need to have their nap, they need to have their sleeping period, and these things are altered. We also have the issue of obesity because when children play with their gadgets, they sit down for a long period of time looking at the screen, and this can lead to obesity. We also have drastic impact on the brain of a child because studies have shown that cognitive delays, impaired learning, increased impulsivity, and decreased ability to self-regulation are some of the things that have been noticed among children who use gadgets often. Now, what to do? Gadget addiction includes obsessive use of devices, triggering aches in kids as young as 3 years old. What to do? As parents, you need to restrict screen time. You need to say no to gadgets to kids less than 2 years old. No devices in the bedroom. Make sure that the bedroom is for relaxation and not for entertainment. No buying of gadgets for kids. Don't be tempted to get a tablet for your children. There are a lot of learning materials that they can use, to learn instead of making use of gadgets to avoid addiction. And as adults, I've talked about children based on what we do on Mommy and I magazine. Now let's talk about adults. How do you manage technologically related distraction? We must consider the following. We must set boundaries, establish specific times for using technology, and dedicate uninterrupted periods for focused work or personal activities. Personally, when I'm at home, when I'm having my family time, which is usually from 7 p.m. in the night, I try as much as possible to avoid use of gadgets because that is the time I bond with my family. You can also disable unnecessary notifications. On your smartphone, you have a lot of notifications. Every time the phone is beeping, there is one notification or the other. You can turn off some of those notifications in order to have your sanity and focus on real life issues. Also practice mindful technology use. Beware of how technology affects your focus and productivity as individual because it's a very thin line. Sometimes you see people spending hours on the comment section of a post, reading comment section, but then you have already spent 2 hours of your time on unfruitful ventures, things that will not help you, things that are not relevant to where you are going or the vision and goals you have for yourself. And they say lifetime, time is life and life is time. So you must be mindful of how these things affect your productivity as a person. And you must use productivity tools. There are numerous apps and tools available that can help you manage distractions and improve productivity. This range from website blockers that restrict access to time wasting sites to task management apps that can help prioritize and organize your work. Also create a distraction-free environment. Minimize potential distractions by creating dedicated workspace or setting up specific rules, such as turning off devices or using focus-oriented apps. I did this myself. 2 weeks ago, I decided to be offline for like a week because a whole lot of things happened and I was really, really affected mentally. I had to just take an exit from using my mobile app because it was necessary. And also practice digital detox. Regularly disconnect from technology, which is what I just talked about. You can decide to go 3 days without pressing your fuzzy keys. You can decide to, stay away from social media for some time. These are some of the ways to combat gadget addiction and enhance productivity. Thank you very much.
Dr. Juma, lovely, lovely. You are sharing very insightful, impactful sharing. Sorry, we have to stop you here. Yeah,
yes,
so
I'm done.
I'm sorry, dear. Thank you so much. In spite of your challenges with your handphone itself, you managed to do so much. Thank you. I would like to call upon Dr. Spresha now to give the feedback. Thank you so much, Dr. Ijoma.
Thank you
Love
so
to
much.
have you again with us. Thank you. Nice to meet you here. First time I'm seeing you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you so
Can you
much.
please stop sharing the screen? Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Dr. Spresha?
Yes. First of all, thank you to Dr. Iona Nandi, because her talk was, very interesting. And really, in all the talks, though they seem to be alike, but everyone has a difference. So everyone makes its own difference according to the location and according to the use of gadgets that are used in their own countries. But what I appreciate most is, and highlight most to her talk, is that she gave a thorough explanation of the digital distraction in the modern world, like making the comparison between the life that used to be before the technological revolution in the 21st century, and where people talked face to face, communication was more friendly, more familiar, and so on and so forth. But what happened later, that we are lacking this kind of love, this kind of communication, warm and a very heartfelt communication among one another. So, and also for us educators, it is mandatory to lead our students toward these all suggestions, to all these recommendations given by Eyoma, Mandi, considering body posture, or how gadgets and how smartphones affect their heart, their psychosocial behavior and psychosocial being in the social life, but also their vision, their physical health as well, their sleepy quality, etc., etc. And also she gave a lot of recommendations considering the restriction time of the screen, like creating that kind of free zone for your kids and for yourselves at home, especially during the weekends. But also to to prohibit using the gadgets and all this technology to to infants and to toddlers before 2, and also not to advise parents, and especially young parents, not to allow all these gadgets to be in their own bedroom, because they distract their physical behavior, but also their physical feelings and their psychological way of thinking, their attention, their communication, and all this stuff. So also, we all should address our learners towards digital detox, which are really this is a new lesson given by me from Dr. Ayoma Esther Namadi, who just addresses us to practice this kind of digital detox. Thank you so much for being with us and providing us with all this good advice towards the use of gadgets in social life, but also in everyday life that we encounter in our society. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Spresha. Now, Dr. Anju.
Yeah, thank you
On
so much,
with the
Dr.
next.
And Dr. Esther. Once again, I will request the speakers, please, the time limit is still 7 to 10 minutes. Please maintain, because we are already running late. We hope to conclude the session by 10, but it is 10:17 here in India, 10:17 p.m. and still we have 3 more speakers to go. So you can imagine how late we are running. And so please, the time limit for the speakers is 10 minutes and for the observers is just 30 seconds to 1 minute. So please just maintain the time constraints. So nextly, I would like to invite our next speaker, Professor Dr. Shpresa Delicia. She is a language professor, international speaker, senior education officer at Elegant Education Empire. And she will be speaking of the topic cultural and societal norms, the role of technology in shaping cultural norms, how societal expectations influence gadget use, and shifting perceptions of acceptable gadget use. And her observer will be Dr. Shilpi. So over to you, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Okay, so thank you so much. And a special thank you is addressed to Ambassador Professor Esther Mala, the founder and the creator of Elegant Empire Education Organization, for inviting me as a keynote speaker to the Education Revolution Summit Towards 2030, with the theme Gadgets, Addiction, and Related Problems in the 21st Century. All the speakers, talked about this very important issue going roundabout as a buzzword everywhere in the world. So the topic for me today is the role of technology in shaping cultural norms, which in a way they were tackled by other speakers as well. I'm also going to talk about the impacts of technology on culture, tradition, and social values. So we know that we live in a dynamic world, which is continuously and rapidly changing tremendously. The influence of current digital technologies on the lives of individuals and communities is evident, and one may claim unprecedented. Over the past 3 decades, technological convergence of communications and computing has evolved and flourished tremendously. The internet has evolved and flourished in every corner of the world. So our everyday life experiences have been affected by this reality we are living now, which is significantly dissimilar from the habitual realities in which people have lived for thousands of years before. But not only that, even if we compare before the 1990s. So technology and society, but also technology and culture refer to cyclical codependence, co-influence, and co-production of technology and society upon the other. So they overlap in a way, or vice versa. This synergetic relationship occurred from the dawn of the humankind, which the invention of the simple tools, and it continues into the modern technologies nowadays. People developed language so they could communicate and learn from elders through their stories. every nation and its community have their own identical coherence, culture, tradition, and social norms and values. Living standard of people has highly risen up and has become sophisticated due to this technology, due to the use of all these apps coming roundabout. So technology has a crucial impact on fundamental aspects of all our cultures, including language, art, mobility, education, and religion. Culture is of any community acts as a standard for perceiving, judging, and evaluating the technology. As technology affects all the components of culture, it determines the direction of cultural development. To occupy the larger cultural dimension, technology should be in harmony with social and cultural conditions of community that exist in every corner of the world. So there should be a balance created by people. And actually, in a way, technology has created this kind of balance. A rational balance allows people to exercise freedom of expression in technical world, which is beyond one's ethnicity, age, or level of education. People use it for fulfilling their fantasies, but a cultural downfall may occur due to lack of restrictions, regulation, or consequences. But also technology and all these gadgets impact on our traditions, I mean, in our communities as well. So imagination of today's life without electricity, for example, or transportation, communication, etc., that used to be before, is never ever thought of being happening today. So the advancement in the field of medical science, for example, engineering, economy, etc., is a result of the development of technology in the new century, in the 21st century. Industrialization, urbanization, modernization, development of all means of transport and communication is all possible as a result of positive impact of technology. It also helps in networking of the culture. This is very good expressed in this summit provided by Elegant Empire Education Summit, where different cultures, different nations, different religions participate, come together, share experiences, and we live in one, because we share, because we live in one society, in one global world, in this village world. So the 21st century has been so much forward due to the progress of technology. So I think that traditional style thrives if they have their recognized value. Technology helps to modify method of production, of industrialization, but also it affects social values, because every one of us, we have our values as well. So technology has given a wide range of topics to be discussed, like we are proving today in our summit. People get to know extensive knowledge about any subject, and more information has been shared efficiently and effectively. Technology assists in transformation of economy and evolution of new social classes too. Technology plays a crucial role to strengthen interpersonal connection. It has contributed in the sector of health, transportation, electricity that I just mentioned before, but also in the demographic factors of the society. Like, for example, modern farming replaced primitive farming, etc., etc. So, whereas people invest more time in technology and less time in social environment, but technology has been blamed for turning down our traditional media such as TV and newspaper because of the luxury, because of giving another view of the society without going to the gist of what is really happening in the periphery of educated people or not educated people in all these regions. The more technology grows up, the more human regress it is supposed to be said. But actually, it has the benefits, but also it has the shortcomings as well. So it has the pros and the cons, and we should see that in both dimensions. So overemphasizing technology has created lack of trust among people, but also underestimating that has made people, especially us as educators, to see it as something that we cannot reach to. But through practice, through communication, through sharing, through caring, we are going to embrace, to empower ourselves in our cultural lag, in changes in social institution, etc. So as a conclusion, I would say that we should take it as a mandatory tool to be used in our everyday life, but also to use it carefully and also to take into consideration all the suggestions, all the recommendations given by the brilliant speakers that we just had tonight in this brilliant and very successful summit. So technologies should be oriented towards positive social change rather than to the negative ones. So we should remedy the negative points of the use of technology in order to develop it, to design digital ways to connect us, not only to each other, but to promote our values, to respect each other more, to love each other, to give peace to every one of us, and to encourage innovation as we develop a place for ourselves in the 21st century. Thank you so much.
Wow.
I put it short because everything was tackled by the previous speakers as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Spresha. You are such an admirable speaker. Yeah, thank you for this excellent sharing. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Shilpi to give the observation. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Dr. Estera. And once again, I'll say congratulations on organizing such a wonderful event and where we can talk so knowledgeable things. All right. So coming to the feedback, Dr. Presha, I just love the way wherein you have taken technology and you incorporated all the aspects which are important for human life to grow and move on. So that is something amazing the way you have incorporated everything. That technology is important to talk about our culture. Technology is important to be connected. Technology, helps on improving interpersonal relationship. Technology plays a lot in creating synergies. Technology has a great role in, spreading communication. And most importantly, on which you have focused time and again, that technology helps us even to connect to our roots and spread our values and culture, which is amazing, which is actually amazing because we don't think on those lines. We talk about the things which gives us, instant gratification and which gives us happiness, but how to use it in a positive manner, which can help us to connect to our roots and spread our culture along with the world, is something unique which you have brought in. And I really appreciate you for this. So that is just amazing. And I love this part of yours, that how technology can be used in in fact, 5-dimensional ways, which you have mentioned here. So that is just great. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am, Shilpi ma'am and Professor ma'am, for this wonderful presentation and giving the feedback, Shilpi ma'am. So let's welcome our next speaker, Madam Natalia.
Dr. Shilpi.
Yes, my dear friend.
I screenshot you, okay? I send you tomorrow.
Thank you so much. Otherwise, I would have missed my laptop screenshot is not working. Thank you.
Thank you. It's time to welcome our next speaker, Madam Natalia. She is educator and national speaker, and her topic is public awareness and education, the importance of public awareness campaigns, education, initiatives in schools and communities, and advocacy for responsible gadget use. And her
Let me share my presentation. Hello, to share. It's unable to share on the screen. My presentation. What's up? I'm so sorry, but host disabled participant screen sharing. It's written on this on my screen, and let me share.
Do you have issue in sharing?
No, it's impossible to share. It's
so you just read from there, from your or I don't know how, or you want to send it to me, but I cannot share because I'm doing the recording. I cannot extract from the device. You can send to me and I'll send to Dr. Anjum. Is it okay if I send to you? Yeah. Are you sending to me the file? Send to my WhatsApp.
Okay. Now I will start my speech.
You see, screen share. I haven't made you host. I think I have to make you host. Then you can share. Wait 1 minute.
Yeah.
I haven't made you host. That's why. Okay, you can share the screen now. Now share the screen. Maybe because of that.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
No. What have I done?
Congratulations, you got it.
Okay.
Yes.
Can you see?
Yes, very clear.
Okay. Now topic is, I will start. I don't waste time. Okay. Now, the modern gadgets and technology have become predominant determinants of socioeconomic status and not only restricted to teenagers, but it's spreading fast across generations. Addiction to technology is causing significant loss of productivity as well as problems in international relationships. It has been postulated that rather than a separate entity, an internet addiction is manifestation of a variety of depression, anxiety, impulse control disorders, or pathological gambling. There have been rehabilitative measures to correct internet overuse. Technophobia is a fear or dislike of modern technology, particularly computers. Let's welcome the technological revolutions with a widespread awareness of its potential danger. The generation of today needs to move ahead with bright vision and a better tomorrow. These modern gadgets and technology have become predominant determinants of socioeconomic status, and it's not only vastly popular amongst teenagers and young adults, but are fast spreading across all generations. Parents often complain that their sons or daughters are increasingly addicted to their mobile phones or play video games and watch television and the whole day. Human intelligence has evolved, so have our gadgets and the internet. Children spend hours on and in front of laptops playing video games and social networking. As a result, children are often exposed to the harmful effects of these materials. Children are becoming lazy, inactive, and more aggressive. Addition to technology is causing significant loss of productivity, as well as problem is in interpersonal relationships. We often witness people crossing busy roads and busy intersections and railway tracks, listening to iPods or talking over the phone. Harmful effects include difficulty in memory and concentration, emotional turbulence, anxiety, insomnia, compulsive disorders, as well as depression is a part of this behavior. Mobile phone addiction has been added in the long list, and psychoactive substance abuse, alcohol, and tobacco. Mobile phone use has been attributed an increasing number of accidents and accidental deaths. Mobiles have replaced the warm personal interactions and that once formed the basis of a healthy familial relationship. Digital addiction considered someone may be addicted when a user using the device in an obsessive and compulsive manner. And at the same time, I would like to note that the term digital addiction is still under discussion. It's not a medical term, but it describes a possible problematic behavioral pattern that may need awareness. Existing tools that assist with controlling phone usage don't necessarily aim to raise any awareness on this topic. This paper presents design and implementation of a mobile application to monitor and control the phone usage so that it can help combat digital addiction. The prototype implementation lets users see how much time they use on their mobile as well as the set preferences. There have been a few applications to this day that help a user monitor and control their phone usage to help lessen the time spent on a phone per day. At this current moment, some of the applications that are seen from Google Play Store require some form of payment to use most of the useful features. Most people who use this app agree that they would want to be helped with the regulation of their phone usage. This shows intent from users that they wish to see or change their behavior on their phone regarding usage. The more people making beneficial decisions of using their phone in a compulsive manner, the more people there are who have a lower risk of developing digital addiction. Awareness campaign is a marketing endeavor that uses media messaging and coordinated set of communication methods to raise public recognition problem. Another study has been conducted due to cases of misuse of mobile phones thus causing addiction. There are three objectives collected, namely to provide awareness among the communities, especially among adolescents, reducing the health problems caused by the use of smartphones, and educating the public on the proper use of smartphones. The results of this survey will be used to implement an effective message through a smartphone addiction awareness campaign. Advertising campaign can be defined as a family of ads that shares a visual verbal identity and promotes a single idea to define target audience. A set of organized activities aim to achieving a social, political, or commercial purposes such as public speeches and demonstrations. The awareness campaign is a long-term endeavor to educate people and raise public awareness about a subject or issue that an organization is working on. Public awareness campaign can be a powerful tool for conveying information about public health issues. The habitual use of current employment awareness campaign to expose huge messages. Awareness campaign can last for months or even years. Consequently, the new awareness campaign named Smartphone Addiction, created from short form of awareness campaign of being addicted to the smartphone. The type of this logo is easy for the audience to recognize this campaign. Printed items covers a wide variety of items, including posters, bunting, billboards, vehicle ads, and newspaper ads. This printed item gives researcher campaign that ability to condense awareness and service into a single message to potential audience. Other than that, all the printed items using Make Your Own Limit as a tagline for this awareness campaign. The tagline can give effective message among public about the smartphone addiction. Television commercial also created to give more awareness among public. Smartphone addiction television commercial focused on the knowledge, side effects, and also show the way how to use smartphone on the healthy way. The campaign, second campaign aimed at raising awareness about internet addiction among school children. I used this from it was example of the country Malta, and I like this very much, and I will share this experience. The campaign goes beyond raising awareness. It's about fostering a new generation and that understands the importance of a healthy relationships with the technology. In the digital age, let's remember that harmonious coexistence with technology is not only possible but also essential for our collective well-being. The campaign represents the first step toward realizing that vision, ensuring that our children grow up as informed, responsible, and empowered digital natives. The curriculum integration. This campaign should not be a stand-alone event. It provides schools with the opportunity to integrate essential digital literacy into their existing curricula. By these sessions into the educational fabric, we empower students to make informed choices in an increasingly connected world. In response to overwhelming demand, the campaign should also offer an informational meeting with psychologists. This meeting enables children to participate in the interaction. Interacting workshops. At the heart of the campaign, there should be interactive workshops meticulously crafted to engage young minds. These live-streamed sessions seamlessly integrate into classrooms using interactive whiteboard technology to create a captivating learning environment. Through this workshop, students can gain valuable insight into the online world and develop the ability to strike a harmonious balance between their digital and offline lives. As I have already mentioned, the campaign targets secondary school students and also should extremely be well received by parents and teachers. The workshops should be hosted by trained coordinators. Each workshops will be streamed live into a classroom via interactive whiteboard to give students a fun and interactive lessons on healthy interaction with the online world. As the conversation started, the workshops use a short comical film featuring a popular actress. And here I can share you this films. It's a short film that covers the many issues that arise from internet addiction and the social isolation that is born of the problem. It encourages teens to examine their options for socializing and entertainment beyond the allures of the virtual world. The creative team beyond the project have fostered the principle that some of the best lessons are those learned over laughter, and this belief is what inspired this style of education. Anyone wishing to watch this video for their own enjoyment and education may see there. Now I can I can share you this video. It's very interesting. It's a short commercial. Okay, and also parents with worries about their kids and technology addiction may wonder if there are ways to prevent it. And I have prepared some leaflets, and here are some tips for parents to increase awareness about digital addictions. Now I can read out some tips. For example, start with daily limits on electronic usage at such of required homework. Follow the advice of no screen time, 30-40 minutes prior to bedtime. Schedule time to use technology and other time to engage in other activities. Be good role models with your smartphone usage. And also, what is the best technology addiction treatment? Also, psychotherapy or talk therapy is the most common treatment approach used for technology addictions. And here I have the practical tips for students, and here are some tips. For example, acknowledge the problem, set realistic goals, create a schedule, practice self-discipline, disconnect it and unplug, find alternative activities, seek support from others, and utilize gadgets for productive purposes. And here can be delivered to the community who are interested. And then conclusion, I can say that public awareness campaigns are important because you can be used to contribute to policy change by putting pressure on policymakers and encouraging the community to take action. And with this campaign, people will realize that smartphones are danger to people, and people will know how to avoid playing smartphone continuously. Thank you very much. It was my presentation.
Thank you so much, dear Natalia Mosashvili. Yeah. I would like to now invite such an impressive sharing. Yeah, impressive, very impressive. And thank you for all the effort you have made to prepare these slides for us. Okay, I would like to invite our Dr. Natalia Burkhat Sitbili to be your observer. She's there. Before she speaks. Okay, dear, please, can you please stop sharing the screen?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, dear Estera. Thank you, Natalia, for so informative and interesting topic and presentation. So I want to conclude that public awareness campaigns are important. As you mentioned, that they can be used to contribute to policy change, to putting pressure on policymakers and encourage the community to take actions. And also awareness campaign of being addicted to smartphones is a campaign aimed to create awareness among the community, especially among teenagers, to reduce the health problems caused by the use of smartphones. So with this campaign, you mentioned that people will realize that smartphones are danger to people and people will know how to avoid playing smartphone continuously. It was so important and informative, and I think that I have very good idea. So as we mentioned, the Estera, we have the club, so in Georgia, and with maybe Mrs. Natalia and other English
Together
teachers.
do this project together.
Yeah, project and conference, and we will inform about these tips to our students and to their parents as
It will be
well.
very good and productive for all of us.
Yeah.
I confess that I am addicted to smartphone.
Everybody is addicted to.
Yeah,
almost.
and I will.
Yeah. Can you please? I will share the screen for my presentation as well, if it's possible.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Natalia. And now it's again time to invite another speaker, Dr. Natalia. Sorry, I'm not able to pronounce it properly. Okay. She's Education Officer and Project Manager at Elegant Impact Education. Her topic will be Gadget addiction, impact on sleep patterns, posture, and eyesight, relationships between gadget addiction and conditions like anxiety and depression. So over to you, Dr. Natalia.
Okay, thank you. Can I share the screen?
Natalia. Okay, dear, please carry on.
Okay. Wait a minute, please. Okay. Am I audible? So, as you see, so my topic is as well the same as you mentioned. So I want to talk about this as I'm a teacher, you already know, and I have so communication with so many students at school, yeah, and we already know how important and how big problem it is. So unfortunately, in our classrooms, like, is it visible?
Yes, dear, it's visible.
Okay, so I would talk about the gadget addiction at first that can have a negative impact on parents according to several studies. So gadgets such as smartphones, computers, and tablets emit blue light, which can suppress the production of melatonin, a natural hormone that helps you feel sleepy at night. Melatonin is also important for regulating your rhythm, which is your body's internal clock that tells you when to sleep and wake up. So also using gadgets before bed or during the night can disrupt your melatonin levels and rhythm, making it harder for you to fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed. This can lead to poor sleep quality, which can affect your physical and mental health in various ways as well. And poor sleep quality can increase the risk of chronic diseases such as diabetes, depression, high blood pressure, cancer, and obesity. It can also impair your cognitive functions such as memory, attention, learning, and decision making. Poor sleep quality can also affect your mood, emotions, and relationships with others. And I can say also that sometimes it happens so that we sleep, but when we wake up, we are still very, very tired because so we are not able to sleep very well, like, yeah. So I want to say that to prevent gadget addictions from affecting your sleep patterns, experts recommend some strategies that can help us reduce our screen time and improve our sleep. Yeah, some of these strategies are set a regular bedtime and wake up time and stick to them as much as possible. Avoid using gadgets at least 1 hour before bed. Instead, engage in relaxing activities such as reading a book, listening to music, meditating, or doing some kind of yoga as well, or maybe dance lessons, going to swimming classes. Keep your bedroom dark, quiet, cool, and comfortable. Use curtains, blinds, or an eye mask to block out any light sources. Use earplugs, a fan, or white noise machine to mask any noise. Adjust the temperature and bedding to suit your preferences. If you have trouble falling asleep or wake up during the night, don't check your gadgets or turn on the TV. This can stimulate your brain and make it harder for you to fall back asleep. Instead, get out of bed and do something calming until you feel sleepy again. Use an alarm clock instead of your smartphone to wake you up in the morning. This way, you can avoid the temptation or checking your messages or social media as soon as you open your eyes. Limit your gadget using during the day as well. Set specific times and durations for checking your emails, social medias, news, or entertainments. Turn off notification or use apps that block distractions. Take breaks from your screen every 20 minutes and look at something else away for 10, 20 seconds. This can help you prevent your eye strain and fatigue. Find other hobbies or activities that don't involve gadgets. Some of the common effects of gadgets use on posture are as well. Forward head posture. This is when your head is tilted forward and your neck is extending as if you are looking down at a screen. This can put a lot of strain on your neck, muscles, and spine and can lead to headaches, neck pain, stiffness, and reduced range of motion. Rounded shoulder. This is when your shoulders are scowled forward and your chest muscles are tight as if you are hugging yourself. This can cause your upper back muscles to become weak and your shoulder blades to move away from each other. This can lead to shoulder pain, reduce arm movement, and poor breathing. So also, hunched back, this is when your upper back is curved excessively and your lower back is flattened as if you are sitting in a slouched position. This can cause your spine to lose its natural curves and alignment and can lead to back pain, spinal disc problems, and reduced lung capacity. So as well, good posture when sitting is on this picture, and some kind of tips: adjust your screen height and distance, make sure your screen is at eye level or slightly below, take frequent breaks, don't use our gadget more than 20 minutes at a time without taking break, use proper posture when using your gadgets, try to maintain an anatomically neutral posture, which means keeping your head aligned with your spine. Limit your gadget use. Try to reduce the amount of time you spend on your gadget for non-essential purposes. So impact is also very important on your eyesight. Digital eye strain. This is when your eyes feel tired, dry, blurry, or irritated after using gadgets for a long time. This can be caused by staring too closely at screens, blinking less often, or having poor lighting or posture. So digital eye strain can also cause headaches, neck pain, and reduced concentration. Blue light exposure. This is when your eyes are exposed to the blue light emitted by gadgets, especially at night. Blue light is a part of the visible light spectrum that has a short wavelengths and high energy. Eye disease risk. Some studies have suggested that Overexposure to blue light from gadgets may increase the risk of eye diseases such as age-related macular degeneration or cataracts. However, the evidence for this is not conclusive and more research is needed to confirm this link. The main source of blue light that can damage our eyes is the sun, not the gadget as well. To prevent or reduce the negative effects of gadgets used on our eyesight, you can follow some tips that can help you protect your eyes and improve your vision health. Some of these tips are: adjust your screen setting, make sure your screen is at eye level or slightly below, take frequent breaks, use artificial tears, wear glasses or contact lenses, limit your gadget use. So, and what about the relationship between gadgets and depression? We know that problematic smartphones are, and some of the common effects of gadgets use depression and anxiety. So this is when you use smartphone compulsively and to the point where it interferes with your daily life and well-being. Problematic smartphone use can worsen symptoms of depression and anxiety, such as low mood, hopelessness, irritability, nervousness, and worry. Research has found that some individuals experience intensely anxious when separated from their phones, and some even exhibit withdrawal-like symptoms if they cannot check their device. Blue light exposure. This is when your eyes are exposed to the blue light emitted by gadgets, especially at night. Blue light is a part of the visible light spectrum that has a short wavelengths and high energy. Blue light can affect your sleep quality by suppressing the production of melatonin, and hormone that helps you feel sleepy. Blue light can also affect your rhythm, which is your body's internal clock that tells you when to sleep and wake up. Poor sleep quality can increase the risk of depression and anxiety, as well as impair your cognitive functions such as memory, attention, learning, and decision making. And what about social media addiction? This is when you spend too much time and energy on social media platforms such as Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or Snapchat, or something like this. Social media addiction can cause you compare yourself negatively with others, feel dissatisfied with your life experience, fear of missing out, or feel isolated and lonely. These feelings can contribute to depression and anxiety, as well as lower your self-esteem. Like, to prevent to reduce negative effects of gadgets, we should use our depression and anxiety. You can follow some tips. Set limits on your gadget use gadget wisely, adjust your screen setting, take frequent breaks, seek professional help. And I also want to say that people are becoming like digital goldfish because our concentration span is becoming less and less. Like, we cannot concentrate for long time because of addiction gadgets. Thank you for your attention. I tried to make it shorter because I know that you are so tired and
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this comprehensive presentation and really very insightful. And now I'd like to invite Dr. Rania to give the observation, and after this, very fast, we will close.
I would like to congratulate Dr. Natalia. Really, she presented in a very, alarming way all the health issues caused by digital addiction. She mentioned about the vision problems, about obesity, the mental health issues, neck pain, and she gave a very important tips, useful suggestions like how it is important to use our gadget wisely, to replace a smartphone use with something we value, or to use a timer to block our usage, to set expectations around mail response time. And of course, all this has to do with how we change communication patterns. Because, for instance, when we're texting our friend all day through our phone, we can change the pattern. We can meet him, we talk to him directly face to face. So it's all about this, follow a new routine, a routine that makes us more organized and managed. And this could help us to a more healthier lifestyle. Because the health problems that you mentioned are really not worthy to explore. So many congratulations. And of course, the limit of smartphone use and socialization are the main important issues of this presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Okay, now we have come to the end. Before Dr. Anjum do the closing short closing, I would like to share this closing song, which we all enjoy very much. I look forward this song every time the summit is on. So 1 minute here, I'll play the song. Let me share the screen. Is it audible? Is it? Can you hear? Yeah, it's downloading. It's downloading. Few minutes. It's downloading.
When I say the things that I feel, you care. When you sing the songs that are written for you, the sound of the heart, the light of the dream it brings, a story to fly, a song you love to sing. Where do I go for the rest of the day? What do I do when you're far away? What do I sing to you? Why do I care? A new prayer for this life insecure. Is there a way? A perfect day where dreams are born to be true. The words of the broken, the walk of the crippled, it shows. There's a story to fly, a song you healing to sing. Where do I go for the rest of the day? What do I do when you're far away? What do I say to you? Why do I care? When I look into the eyes of the light, the darkness now fills up deep inside. Makes a brand new day for a story to fly. It's a brand new day, a brand new hope to start. Spread out your wings and have a new story to fly. Where do I go for the rest of the day? What do I do when you're far away? What do I sing to you? And why do I care? When I look into the eyes of the light, the darkness that fills up deep inside makes a brand new day for a story to fly. Story to fly. story to fly. For a story to fly.
So that was really a lovely song. And with this, we come.
I love this song. Yes, I love
Yeah.
this song. You know, after every summit, you know, you feel like so drained out. When you hear this song, you feel so relaxed before you close it. Yeah, thank you, dear all, especially all those who stayed till the end. And some really cannot make it; they have to go halfway. But I still appreciate every one of you. Thank you. Till we meet again in next summit next month on 30th November. Looking forward to see all of you. So Dr. Anjum, thank you so much. You have done a wonderful job. Very nicely moderated. Thank you. Your smile, your patience, yeah, I admire. So each and every one of you. And Dr. Spresha and I think few of you, where is the leopard of Oman? Where is the
Leopard is listening. Leopard is doing work, but listening only, listening from the beginning.